but we got to eat some duck eggs now.
Oh.
Or balut.
We have just
In honor of me, is this? I know it's a Filipino dish, but it's in honor of me, the duck eggs.
Yes,
I love that.
Do you see the embryo?
Right here.
Will you tell me this?
What?
Why does everybody say no matter what, you turn 35, your testosterone goes down. When you're 40, it turns down.
Dude. Yeah.
And so now you got people going on my page going, oh, I'm not going to take any advice that says the scientists and stuff. It's like, wait a minute, hold on for a second. Not everybody's even slightly the same.
It allows people to bolster down on their personal belief systems. Like, there are guys.
What does that mean?
Greg Doucette. I'm going to say specific names because there are guys like this where I watch their videos. I'm like, you're giving people information, but you're allowing people to believe things that's going to make them not push themselves. So Greg makes all these Natty or Not type videos where it makes young guys are like, oh, well, yeah, that guy's on drugs, that guy's on drugs, that guy's on drugs.
Right.
There's no wonder why I look the way I do. So there's no reason for me to even try because I got to get on sauce to look like that guy.
What's the point of him doing that? So it doesn't matter if I did or didn't do it. What matters is the possibilities of what you can create for you. When food's removed, you're not perfectly yourself, or at least I'm not. And people I'm around that were dieting that hard. Or any bodybuilders. We've seen bodybuilders diet in that last stage. They're never themselves.
It's like those Snickers commercials. Not feeling yourself lately, and the guy like literally turns into somebody totally different.
I mean, that's real life.
The exercisers are different. They're always different, and I've always considered you a genius in the gym. The way that you do the movements that you select, how you select them. There's true mastery going on of the way that you move the weights and the particular movements that you chose.
I appreciate that.
It's like the progress that you'll make, even if somebody did that just to 60%, but you've been doing 100% for 100 years.
I'm the guy that's absolutely, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
Look at her, dude. You don't get those shoulders and biceps, man. Like,
What?
They think, oh, he's powerlifting right now. He's doing 405 incline. They don't know I've eaten 4 times in the last 2 weeks.
But here's Michael Hearn having a baby. And I'm like, I think I could do this too. A year and a half later, we had my son. So I got to thank both of you guys. You got the Dana White, Joe Rogan angle of this, Mark.
Even someone who's on shit, they'll say, yeah, but that guy's on tons of shit. That's how bad it is.
Power Project family, how's it going? And listen up. We talk about meat and nutrition all the time on this podcast, from the carnivore diet, keto, low carb, IFYM. And the cool thing is that we've partnered with a great company, Piedmontese Beef. Yes, it's beef. And the great thing about Piedmontese Beef is this: no matter if you're someone who's dieting on low fats, high fats, carnivore, any diet, they have different types of cuts of steak that are going to fit your diet perfectly. From the flat iron that has, Andrew, what is the macros on that thing?
So that one has 46 grams of protein and only 4 grams of fat for the entire steak.
And if you want fattier cuts, they have ribeyes, center cuts. They have literally everything for no matter what diet you do. So you can't use the excuse of your diet and tell yourself that you can't eat red meat. So Andrew, how can they get Piedmontese beef?
Yes, man. So that's at Piedmontese.com. That's PIEDMONTESE.com. At checkout, enter promo code POWER for 25% off your entire order. And if your order is $150 or more, you get free 2-day shipping. Again, Piedmontese.com, promo code POWER. All links down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes.
What the hell did you guys take? Why did you do this IVF shit? She's like, what did you give? What did you
Holy
insert in?
sheesh.
What?
I'm anorexic.
All right, we're rolling.
I'm looking pretty small, man.
Let's get going.
Here's the not eating.
I was going to say, what do you expect?
Hey, so before we get underway,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, we have to talk about the fact that my boy Nsima over here, he has out-angled you. Like more than once. And one time was really bad. And he does it to Andrew and I every day.
Every day.
And because he does jujitsu, he just thinks he can pick on us.
That's not true.
So
That is true.
Oh, okay, well,
Oh, that is 100% true.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you're saying no because you're a nice guy, but he 100% does it.
He's
It's like,
picking on
what
us.
are you going to do? What are you going to do? You going to go to the mat with me?
You. I am bigger than you guys, and this is just the way it
Well,
is.
it's always like,
Stronger? I
Remember
could
that
take you
picture
down?
he showed?
I do
he
remember.
out-angled him bad. Remember that?
Yeah. But then the other thing, it's like, it's like he'll ask like, oh, like everything's cool, right? And we're just like, yeah, it's cool. Don't worry about it. We're fine.
No,
Like,
but we go home
can't
and
say
cry.
shit.
You go home and cry. All right.
I like this. What's going on with
What's
this?
going on is that we're going to
Uh-oh.
set the record straight.
Oh my God.
Pull the top, baby.
What?
Oh, come on, dog.
Oh, we got a challenge going here.
I'm just saying. I'm
Fasted
willing
too.
to take
He's
it
hella
off.
dry
I'm
too.
willing-
If you're gonna start
switch that
out
guy.
with all
Okay.
the people, then
Okay.
Good.
then
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna
That's
have
a hard
to
act
get,
to
you know-
follow, though, because you work out.
I do.
All the
Oh
time.
my gosh.
Honey,
I'm not as lean.
You can't get dressed
lean
like
cuisine.
that.
Oh.
You need me.
We're going to do the podcast from up
All right. Let's see how that looks. All right.
I
Well,
have to film this because
Okay. So we are up.
this is incredible.
Do we call it?
You're just gonna stay
gonna
back
stay
there?
back
All right. I'll come up there.
What is happening to my podcast?
Back it up.
I fucking.
Take my pants off.
You're fasted too, right?
Yeah. 4 days.
Oh, you're killing me.
what is going on?
You guys
Oh,
ready
you're
for the
breaking
show?
everything.
The show of the lifetime. Oh, hit the shot. Hit the shot. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, that's not fair.
Wow, Mark.
That's not fair.
Mark.
Oh, Christmas tree's up.
Oh, let me see.
It's kind of there. What is this podcast turned into? We're not even on mic now. All right.
This is all the energy. You guys have no more energy. for the podcast.
Bring it in. Bring it in. Oh, we're gonna be on tour all year long. Men Gun Wild.
Of course it starts that way.
This is how it starts.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah, and thanks for calling. We're done for the day.
Oh man, that's funny.
So,
If you guys were listening and you weren't watching the podcast, we just did a whole pose down at the beginning.
Yeah,
so
well-
you can only catch that on YouTube.
Yeah.
3 weeks from now would be perfect for you.
3 weeks, you had the universe, but you just.
This is
Oh my
I don't know
God.
what.
Hey,
the
but 3
fuck
weeks
is
from now, I
happening?
get bigger too. So what? The
Yeah,
hell?
so
That's so funny though. Like you made up that shit that I out-angled him, and immediately he's like, "What?" And then boom, he pops. And he's like, "I'm gonna show you. He's not gonna out-angle
I
me."
didn't realize that. I did get set up. So, I know how to get his shirt off. I say somebody better. Done. That was really, really easy, huh?
How long has he been prepping for this?
good job. So you know.
How much does he guys? Everybody owes some money for that one, right? I'll get his shirt off in the first 5 minutes.
No, you can't.
$10.
And then it happens.
So I said, hey, we're gonna do the podcast with Mark Bell, and I set up the date for the 16th. I think it was the end of August, and immediately started his diet. He started training. He started like fasting. See, all for you, Mark.
He got motivated, huh?
Well, see.
Hey,
Forget about all the other stuff that you have coming up.
I have a serious question for you guys. Because every once in a while, life gets a little serious, right? You guys have products at like Walmart.
Yeah,
What in the hell's going on?
you know.
That doesn't make any
It's
sense.
like I pinch him sometime, and I'm like,
On the
you know
butt
what?
cheek?
Yeah, I say
That's where I would
to
go.
him, wake up. We're in Walmart, man. Come on.
That's insanity.
What I like is it's over and above. Most of the stuff you guys know. Why do I fast? Well, were you trying to get in shape and stuff? No, I'm trying to test myself. I'm trying to get in that third round of wrestling where you're fatigued. How strong am I? That's basically how much damage could I feel that I'm in. And there's a reason why I'm saying this. And then still be strong. Still stay on the diet. So it's just me trying to test my mind power. And then so Walmart, the great thing for that is it's things I believe, and it's not a catch thing. Hey, this month, get creatine because that's the hit. It's joint support. It's a stem with it's a pump product without stems in it. So it's like, I don't want to override your ass. I want you to go to the gym, still be in control and do your, so it's nice that it's the root of the stuff that I believed in in the 70s and 80s. It's just do the basic works.
Mm-hmm. The fasting, when did you start that? Because you mentioned that
Because of him.
Yeah, so how'd that happen?
So I've always been the eater, always 2 to 3 hours. And Chris talks about like when we were at UFC, I guess 20 years ago, not 20 years. Yeah, no, it was the early 90s.
probably, yeah.
Wow, I'm old. But everybody's got beers and pizza and this and that. And then it's nonchalant. I'm pulling out my Tupperware and eating my meal.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized later in life, I have to find more ways to test. And you were doing it. And I'm like, he's trying to get to a weight that's hard to get to. And I was like, I wonder, I should do this with you. And then I tested it. And there's benefits, I think, for humans. And then there's emotional testing that I found that I loved more than what it does to the body. Because I don't believe I should do it all the time. Because I think if I continue to do that, then I'm going to slow down the metabolism instead of speed it up for me. But I will do it at the end of the stage when you're getting ready for a show or something big. And it was 100% him talking about it and then me saying, and I did it with Heath Evans, not Mona, because she's pre-diabetic, so I want to make sure she doesn't do that.
But I don't have to do it.
Yeah, she's
already yoked out of mind.
But we did it, and Heath and I felt the same way at times. It was like the fasting day, your mind, it's on fire, and she hates those days. She's like, just write it down.
He wants to do 20 things at once. And the mind works at such a speed that he cannot control it. He's like, hey, so you, Jeff, like, it's just like spitting it out. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, how is this even like, this is not normal. And it does happen on fast days. Yeah. Hands down. Like other days, he works normal. Yeah, he's a little bit more up there, than us, a little bit more crazy, I would say. But when he's fasting, but let me ask you.
And you're fasting right now. Like this is
the fourth day. I knew I was going to come see you. I wanted to try something different. I wanted to try to go for a week. And then we start filming. We finished filming Divinity, a movie I'm doing. I play Stephen Dwarf's little brother. And so
you play someone's little brother. What are you supposed to be like 30?
So you know what's funny?
He's funny? Brother, he's a little brother.
Stephen Dwarf's 2 years younger than me, and I'm playing his little brother. And so this movie's great because it's.
My son was really pumped that you were on Always Sunny. By the way,
was he?
Yeah, he was so excited.
Wait, what season was this? Recent?
Season 7
wasn't that long ago.
No.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sick. They were great. We'll talk about that.
Continue onward.
Sorry. So I'm doing this movie, and I was like, it's a real big scene because this one I come out naked out of the pool. So,
Hey now.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out if it's 2 inches. Sorry, Dan. But I wanted to be just ridiculous. But I also wanted to be, and I say this, and I don't think most people understand this, and let's see if you guys do. I don't want them to go, hey, there's Mike O'Hearn in shape. I want them to say, is that Mike O'Hearn? Which to me is completely different. Wait a minute. I don't remember him ever looking like that. Is that him? He looks completely like a different person. And like the main thing that you said, you're going to 220. My thought is that is control of your ship. If you can change your body, especially at our age, over 35, you're still in charge of that body and what you're doing with it. And so you were doing that. And I was like, let's see if I really got a true control over my body on that I can change it from a universe winner to a superhero on screen.
I just said it the other day. I made a post where I was running, and I'm like, the goal is that when you're scrolling, you're not like, oh, there's Mark running. You look at it and go, who the fuck's that? That's awesome. And then you're like, holy shit, that's Mark. That's exactly what
I got tingles.
Exactly what the goal is.
Because you're the first individual that thought exactly like I do. And that's the coolest thing about that. Is I want to be completely different. He's the one that got me onto it.
So, sorry, Mark, how is your emotions? How are you?
Okay, so anyways,
when you fast, I don't know. Everybody's different.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Because I competed before, and at a pro level, and I dieted. I never fasted, but I'm always the same. I'm level, but I know, and I see. You guys get very crazy. So do you get like that? Do you get
First of all, I would say that I don't take things to the extent in the way that he does, and
Nobody does
for the specific things that he does. So I don't know those experiences quite as well as he does. But I'm somebody that is a big believer in not overreacting to initial emotion. My initial emotions aren't always very good. Or my initial reaction isn't always very good. It's not very kind. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. And so I have to take a beat sometimes and go, why the fuck am I acting that way? Or what's that thought? Why am I jealous? Or why am I mad? Or why am I? So I've always been a person, not always, but I've worked on it really hard over the last maybe 10 years or so. And I think when Mike and I ran into each other more recently, when I did the bodybuilding show a couple of years ago, I was kind of right in the middle of that. And I think that's why he and I vibed so well together when we were training, because we would get into these amazing conversations midway through our workouts, and just like little babies, we'd be like crying on each other's shoulder nearly during some of the workouts.
I was crying. He was holding me.
And it was right as you were pregnant with Titan, like literally you were training with us, and then all of a sudden there was no more Mona, and then you guys announced it to us, and that was super incredible. But I'm a big believer in equanimity, of really trying to be balanced, trying to figure out a way to balance the mind. I like the unbalancedness of like, I'm going to get shredded. I'm going to get as strong as possible. And during that process, there's going to be some things that aren't balanced. Your schedule, your life in general. It's like hard, right? But emotionally, I like to have a lot of balance, and to be able to have the shittiest thing happen to me, get news that my mother died or that my brother died, and still be able to say, okay, what qualities did they have that I love, that I care about, that I want to propagate, that I want to push out into the world? And how can I be strong, and how can I be there for everybody else? And also, how do I make sure I don't go fucking crazy?
Yeah.
You took this to another level because of the fact that that's what I need to work on. Because I am such a...
So I'm glad we're here.
I like everything perfect. And in those states, when I'm grinding so hard on myself to get in shape, pushing it to the limit in classes for the movies and stuff, and then training like I'm doing, I'm so beat down. And so I still want things done correctly for the other things. And if I can think of, hey, this could have been done better, or this could have been done, I go right into it. And that's something I think I need to go like you're doing.
It's a tough understanding to know that it's sometimes not even helpful, but it's a tough thing to know that like everything's your fault. If something didn't happen business-wise, why you feel like you're in these stress situations, and you say, how in the fuck did that guy not know? How did that guy edit this so shitty? How did this person take this protein bag that I wanted to put out there and make it look so shitty? Yeah.
Stay on the edit, because I just did that yesterday. Yeah. I got something.
And that's, so I would just say there's some sort of miscommunication somewhere between you and whomever is editing. People aren't trying to especially people in your group, in your circle, not specifically trying to hurt you. Right. I know Mona would never drop the ball, so she would never forget to give you your meal right at the third hour or whatever, right? But if something like that did happen, or if she had something slightly different prepared than what you're normally used to, she's not trying to recklessly like damage your life or fuck you over in some way.
So what do you do then? Because again, I think this is more valuable than the guy that works out. When you're trying to get in shape, it's an emotional roller coaster, because food is an amazing. I say food is not like medicine. Food is medicine. And when you take it away and you're in this position, you're like, I'm going to go hard for 3 months to get in this shape. There's a lot of roller coasters, especially for me. And so that's one thing that I want to know, more steps. And I think the viewers should know that too, because when food's removed, you're not perfectly yourself, or at least I'm not. And people I'm around that were dieting that hard, or any bodybuilders. We've seen bodybuilders diet in that last stage. They're never themselves.
It's like those Snickers commercials, not feeling yourself lately. And the guy like literally turns into somebody totally different.
I mean, that's real life.
Yeah, it happens.
So going back to the edit, because I got an edit and I watched it and I'm like, wow. It's like, wow.
Like, I know I'm bigger than that.
I'm not standing next to you guys anymore. But the edit was so bad. And I'm just like, I just wanted to explode. And I didn't, because I let her handle mostly everything.
Right.
I let her handle everything.
That's really smart.
He would, I don't know what would happen if he,
But what are some of the steps? I know you're saying something, because it sounds easy. I just take a moment. I just take a beat. What is it that you think of that allows you to take the beat? Because I'm a fighter. It's what'd you say? It's like, I want to go.
Yeah, I think you have to look at it and how did this person get hired? What was explained to them? maybe they haven't seen a lot of Michael Hearn videos, you know, or maybe they haven't previously edited them. If it is somebody that has,
So that's what you're thinking that way.
yes, yeah, I'm thinking like, was there a miscommunication? And if there wasn't a miscommunication, you know, is this can we salvage this? Can I go back and talk to this person and figure out a way? Or maybe that's not even a strength of theirs. I think here at Super Training and with Slingshot and stuff like that, over the years, I would find that someone would produce something maybe slightly differently than I thought or expected. And then it might happen again. We try to communicate about it a little bit more. And then I just kind of recognize, I'm like, I don't think that person really enjoys that much. And most, I guess, employers a lot of times would say, you know, hey, you're gone, you know, you're out of here. But I've always tried to find a way, like, it's kind of clear they don't really enjoy that. And yeah, you know, let me find someone that does like that. And then maybe that'll be a little bit more their calling. But I think the main thing is, you know, really slow to hire, especially as you guys continue to grow, and a little faster with the pulling the trigger. Nobody's actually good at hiring, despite what anybody says. You'll never be good at it.
You just don't know what you get. And I think we have great workers.
I think we have great workers, but I think everything you're saying is so relevant to me and maybe some of the viewers, but it is so I can see when somebody likes something now that you kind of point that out to me.
You do it in the workouts. You communicate really, really well during the workouts. I mean, every once in a while you got like your own shit going on and you'll just like up the ante and you'll just physically show. And it's like, okay, all right, here we go. This is going to be a tough set. But I think one of the things that makes a lot of your videos so compelling, and I think maybe it's lost because the fitness community doesn't know you. They don't know you the way that I know you. And I'm always so frustrated when I see some of the hate being thrown your way. But Mike gets down right next to you. You get down on a knee. So I'm doing leg presses and I feel like I'm about ready to die or shit myself or some combination of all those things. I don't feel like I got any more reps in there. And there's Mike, you know, helping to push the weight, explaining like what we're doing. And you'll talk to me very calmly. You're like, go inside the muscle, close your eyes, get inside the muscle. And then next thing you know, my pants are down around my ankle. And I'm like, wow, something's inside of some sort of muscle. But you do a great job communicating some of that. And I think maybe if you took that into the workplace of saying, you know, this is exactly, I mean, at this point, you guys are doing so well, you shouldn't feel, you should feel very confident in just telling somebody exactly what you want. It's going to help them and you.
I think we are hands-on a lot of things right now, so we don't have a lot of workers, and we want to be involved. I want to be involved, and of course Mike wants to be involved.
That's the other thing. The more that you survey it, and the more that you helicopter mom it,
and
the more that every little thing someone does is a problem. So you keep watching your son, you know, going around. He's gonna like you're gonna be like worried about it, and you're gonna be focused in on like, don't do that, don't do that. Right. I know that you guys actually don't do that with your son because I've seen some of the crazy stuff that he was doing when he was really little. He's like climbing on shit. I'm like, I think that thing's gonna fall. I'm watching it, and my heart's racing. I'm like, I don't know about this. So you gotta let the employees gotta let them go.
I just saw two things.
A little bit.
Two things I just noticed. My little Mark Bell's grown up, you know, because there was a moment that you weren't
it's amazing.
You weren't the businessman and stuff. There was a moment that year, and then I come back now and we're talking about this, and it's like I go to these guys like Bedros and these guys that go and speak to these. He speaks to wolves in a sense, you know, just great guys.
Yeah,
and they're very insightful about business, and I'm hearing that from you right now on the breakdown on how you have become, because you're in the trenches and you're doing this and you created a company that's exploded, that you've learned as you were in there. And you didn't go to college to learn it. You didn't do that. You just learned it because you were going out of time. So it's cool to hear that. I know that's outside the podcast or anything like that, but I can see your experiences really paying off and that you're absorbing it and going into the business aspect. Yeah, this might be a whole new thing for you. I mean, it's like,
it sure is. At this point, like I'm not as in the trenches as I was, and I had to learn that too. I had to learn like there was a point where I was doing some stuff and I was having a lot more stuff filmed, And my wife's like, you know, you're doing stuff from like 4 a.m, you know, until,
Yeah.
and then it's like on the weekend and it's all the time. And I'm like, I don't have any problem. Like, I feel fine. She's like, our employees don't. She's like, they're, you know,
Yeah, there
she's
you
like,
go.
look,
All right, I'm leaving.
There you go.
Everything you're saying
There
is
you go.
scary. It's like you
there's
talk
a
to my
wake of,
staff.
There's a wake of people that are half dead because of you. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
they
oh,
do
yeah,
it,
whoops.
but they're not fasting. They're not. I mean, he can't sleep because he's fasting. He's got no food in his body, so he sleeps 2-3 hours
people
a
have
night.
their own, you know.
And then we have to get. I go to sleep at 12 at night
Mm-hmm.
because of the baby, and then I get up at like 4 or 5, and you know, Mike is asleep at 6, and then he gets up at 1, and then he goes.
6:15.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like his sleeping pattern, it is insane right now.
Can you tell the people like what kind of fasting you're doing? Are you having electrolytes at least during these fasts, or are you doing water? Because you mentioned that there's
eats
some
a
you did
pizza.
through water.
I do a, and I don't recommend anybody do this. Don't do a water fast. I'm doing that just to see if I can actually get on the scale, like in wrestling. I got to make weight. So I'm trying to get to that aspect of, can I ever really step on a scale and it's say 230? That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And so that's why I do it that way.
big boy.
But
Yep.
I do something, and that I discovered, which is incredible, and it's the combination of the glutamine, the EAAs, the BCAAs, and my pump twice a day. Just keeps me filled, and that's the only thing I'm really doing besides water. Unless it's absolutely berserk and I'm losing it, then I'll do a green drink. So she'll take spinach, broccoli,
Kale.
asparagus, kale,
Yeah,
some
Sounds
vitamin
tasty.
C,
yeah.
and I'll drink that.
I make it taste good. That's what I'm here for. But we started making this slushy, and it's just literally
this new one.
ice. So we take a whole bunch of ice, put a little bit of water, and then we put a scoop
The
of the
branch
pump, the
chains,
branch
the
chain, whatever
aminos.
aminos,
It's called amino
yeah.
sauce.
and
I don't
then
know how
you just
came up with
blend
that
it,
name.
and it's a
Accent is
slushy,
cute.
and it's
Your accent is cute and you're beautiful, but I'm always intimidated by you. I'm not sure why.
Why is everybody scared of me?
I don't know.
Everybody is.
I don't know, but I'm
Listen,
like, I'm kind of happy.
I came
Yeah, I'm
here
like, I
from
don't wanna-
Romania. I was an
Is it just me?
immigrant. I was an immigrant, hungry on the streets. You shouldn't be scared of me. I'm humble.
I think it's all the veins popping. Like
That's probably- yeah.
she has the fucking like.
Well, you shouldn't have me push that thing outside. Well, I love
Pushing
it.
the tank, yeah.
the tank. We gotta get
What is
the
that
tank.
called?
Yeah, it's called the tank.
The tank.
Yeah.
Are you
I'm
gonna
getting
give me
one
the
of those.
tank?
Yeah, we'll send one out to you.
There you go.
Yeah. So Clark Bartram, almost going to turn 60 here. When he comes up, he's
In a week.
Him and Todd Abrams are the two godfathers to Titan, and so Clark, when he comes up, he'll go to wrestling with us, or go to jiu-jitsu with us, or he'll go swimming. And Clark loves bouncing around and doing all the stuff you guys are doing,
he would-
the sleds and the
nice.
ropes, and so we went down there and he set up
die.
this whole obstacle course, gladiator obstacle course for Titan. But some of the stuff that he had there was sleds, and when I saw you and Mona doing that out here, I'm like,
He would die.
He
if
would
he had
love
that thing.
this.
Oh my gosh, he would.
I know
absolutely-
every parent's out there going, "No, get him a toy truck or something."
No.
No, he wants a tank.
Yeah, yeah. He would love it.
Just to kind of rewind a little bit, I don't know if people know how long you two have known each other, because you guys are talking
I don't
about
even know
stuff.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
How long you guys known each other?
We were talking about that just now.
Yeah.
And I've known his brother since '92, and we met a few years later.
Yeah.
You came out and visited, but then you moved out there. What year?
That was like 98, 97, 98.
I knew you before the universe again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I first came out in like 95 or 96 was the first time I was in LA. First time I was at that Gold's Gym in Venice. And that was just amazing. That was so neat to go there. Like it was, that's why I was like, I need to figure out, it wasn't anything else about Los Angeles or California other than that gym.
How great was it?
I was like, I need to figure out how to
Mid-90s?
move out here.
You always talk about that.
I miss that.
The consistency that you've had over the years, we've talked about that a bunch. Over what, 40 years of lifting or something like that now, right? It just keeps going on, and you're there a lot of days super early in the morning between 4 and 5, working out for 2 hours. When you've seen a lot of these people come and go over the years, who have been a couple of the other guys that hung on, that had some pretty good consistency, or who are a couple guys that even maybe if they did, you know, maybe they're not still going that well, but just people you've been real impressed by over the years? Because we have like John Cena coming through there, you had Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson. I mean, celebrities and movie stars.
John is killing it. Not, and obviously in television he's killing it, but I think it's not talked about enough on how well he's kept and continue to create that physique. I think John's done one of the few, you know, that's been able to do it as long as he has. And I talked to all those guys like Kevin Nash and Austin and Billy Gunn, and that's an abusive, you know, job.
Oh, yeah, it's a brutal
The
sport.
traveling, the bouncing, the taking falls, and all that stuff. And so by doing that, because I was offered WWE in '92 before Billy got there, which is crazy. We were talking about that. I'm like, geez. Shane came out, met me, and flew me out and meet with Vince. And I'm like, I was on Gladiators, the original. So it was a conflict there, but I was just thinking, I don't want to travel that much, and I don't want to be owned to that extreme. And so I kind of did my own thing. And I didn't think I'd be able to maintain the body and all that stuff over decades of that. And John's done unreal. He took the falls, he did the traveling, he did everything, and he's so precise. And I took up one notch on. John did a movie with a guy I just got ready for a movie, Aaron, who was in the Avenger movie. And he said that John showed up. He showed up to go to set in a suit. And Aaron said, well, why are you wearing a suit? Always be ready. And that's the guy we know. That's John Cena. He was always, you know, when we met him since he got out of college, he was 255 and in shape. And he's still, right? Yeah. And he pulled up his abs. Me and Tito were just getting done with a workout. And he's like, yeah, here's my abs. And I'm like, dude, you're crazy in shape. And so I think he's done great. I think Robbie Robinson has done amazing.
He's 80.
For that many decades.
How old is he?
80.
He's almost 80.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn,
and we have some beastie fun workouts.
We just
got that
filmed. We just
deep-ass
filmed
voice.
we just filmed the
you
workout with
doing?
him the other day, and I always talk about him because he does the exercises perfection. And you see the other guys
It's
that
more
work
than
out
that.
with us.
Don't you think it's like you watch like an artist, I bet, like
Yes.
Michelangelo
Yes.
or somebody playing the piano, and you're like, everybody else
Just
plays it.
mind-blowing.
This person is in tune with it. When Robbie lifts, there's a different thing going on.
That's what we noticed with you too. Like when you're taking us through the exercises.
Yeah.
And Nsima's done some workouts with you. I've done a bunch of workouts with you, and we've had other people from Super Training come and lift with you. And it's always the exercises are different. They're always different. And I've always considered you a genius in the gym. The way that you do the movements that you select, how you select them. I remember actually going to train with you one particular day, and we had one of our guys come in, and one of my guys, Ryan Soper, he's pretty good at squats. So I was like, oh, this would be cool. It's a leg day. I know Mike's, pretty big on squats, so there'll probably be some sort of squat in there. And when we walked in, you sized Ryan up, and right away you're like, let's leg press. We leg pressed. We did leg curls. We did back extensions. We did leg extensions. And then you're like, let's squat. Ryan was half dead and could barely move at that point. So it's just always interesting to see, like, there's true mastery going on of the way that you move the weights and the particular movements that you chose.
I appreciate that, especially from you who's done this at such a high level. So I appreciate that. It's my baby. We love it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, you know. It's so I always say I've never, and I know you squat great. So does Stan Afterden. You guys are amazing.
Well, Stan doesn't.
And strong, yeah, whatever. But when Mike squats, he has such a form. Like I never see it anywhere. It's just like I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, there's
I
no
cannot
shake,
squat
there's
like
no
it's
stumble,
nothing.
there's-
He's just literally ground. I mean, just strong from the heels up, and he doesn't. You could see every fiber on his body that it's working.
Is there a lot of practice
So-
that goes on with it? Like, are you specifically like trying not to make particular faces and noises and stuff?
No,
'cause
that's
you,
the Botox. That's the Botox. No,
I didn't expect that.
I'm
like, I'm
somewhere
trying to
else.
move my face.
This is it. Smiling, unhappy. I'm trying to connect and change it in different places. Like if I'm taking it down, I'm trying to make the hamstring and glute tie-in, pull it. And then if I reverse out, then now I'm trying to move it in or out. And so I just try to dissect it as I'm in it.
Yeah, you would coach me through that, like during certain lifts when we do a squat. You're like, separate the quads, get the quad to feather. And you're
Right.
talking about that during the lift, and it does help. It helps to like go inward. And a lot of times you even will close your eyes, almost like meditate while you're
He
lifting.
does that. He goes somewhere else. He looks like he's from, when, what do you call?
Possessed.
Yeah, possessed. He looks possessed. He's like,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, he's not here, but he's here. And he's been doing that though since I've known him.
How do
so.
you think he's avoided injuries and stuff? Like, is he stretching all the time, or like,
So a lot of
what's-
people asking about stretching, and they come up to me and say, hey, so when do you stretch, before or after you work out? And he stretches during the workout, which nobody
with-
does.
Yeah, like with the weights.
weights.
Yeah, nobody does. And I've learned that with him. Like, listen, I'm having a baby, okay? So he's in a room there, and the doctor's like, okay, let's go. And he's right here. He goes, babe, remember when we squat and you just
Leg
like,
press.
leg press. Yeah.
The delivery room?
Yeah. Remember the leg
Waist
press
down.
when you take the legs down?
This is right here. This is how I delivered the baby. Yeah, I remember. Let me leg press this doctor. Right, the freak out.
He like gets you some chalk. You're like,
Ready to go. Boom. That kid was out.
Literally, like he does everything in his head. Everything it's about. He's a genius, I think. But the workout, the way he flexes through the workouts, the way his warm ups. Listen, people look at him and they go, "Why 1 rep? What are you crazy? You're wasting your freaking time. What do you got? 3 hours to sit there?" But they don't know about the nervous system, which I've learned since I'm with Mike. Right? I didn't know about that. I won the universe. I got on stage. I worked out. I was like, I know how to work out. Until I met this guy, and I felt like,
I
holy
think that's a
crap.
cool thing. Is like anything I know with health and fitness is moderately cool because I can do it to myself. But I can take it outside of myself and try it with all walks of life. From our friends that have no legs or paralyzed, and
you always
we
have
move through
people
that.
working out with you. Yeah.
And it's cool to see that it transfers to everybody, and it helps everybody. And like, you remember Bryce that I trained?
Mhm.
So now we've gone 10 years now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He's done this,
Still
and now
working.
he just turned 50, and he looks better than he did at 30, and his bone density is doubled. And this is not a genetically gifted guy.
Yes.
And it's also a 50-year-old man that does nothing, no TRT, no nothing. And he looks like these people would probably just, a portion of them would go, oh no, he's on a little something.
Yep.
No, we did
He's
blood work,
not.
we do everything.
Yeah.
And it's like,
He's a little project.
she won the universe. Okay, she's one of these, I do a regional show, she wins that. She goes off to the universe, wins that, turns pro, competes as an IFBB pro. It's like boom, boom, boom.
Right.
I get her 10 years later, and I made her body better 10 years after that. And so she's going through the whole pregnancy and stuff. And we did a video with Clark Bartram and Anita, like 2 or 3 weeks after. And the way we set up through
2
the
weeks
pregnancy and everything, you got to do a video right now of how Mona looks. Because it's 3 weeks after having a kid. And this is how she looks.
Yeah.
But she looked the same throughout the whole thing. So it was amazing how we taken her body and made it better. It's fun.
You know what's really interesting? And I'm texting Andrew. Andrew, can you find that video where
looking.
Mike was talking to Kenny?
KO?
Yes.
Oh.
There's a specific video that we've talked about during the podcast, and what you just said there about that guy that went from 30 to 50, and he gained bone density, and he gained muscle. When you were talking,
Will you guys tell me this? Will you tell me this?
what?
Why does everybody say no matter what, you turn 35, your testosterone goes down. When you're 40, it turns down.
Dude. Yeah.
And so now you got people going on my page going, oh, I'm not going to take any advice that says the scientists and stuff. It's like, wait a minute, hold on for a second. Not everybody's even slightly the same. Clark Bartram is at over 740 and he's 60.
Yeah.
I know some 20-year-olds that are at 200. How do you guys, when it comes to testosterone in the health and fitness world, it's just automatic, no matter what, You drop, you get worse. That's life. And
Yes.
I'm like, there's no paper that says that. There's a paper that says they did studies and men, average men, drop.
The average American.
What about the guy that's sleeping, that didn't sleep in his 20s, that's eating right now for the first time, that's doing fasting for the first time, that's maybe controlling his temper when he's dieting and fasting? There's such. So explain this to me, because I'm confused when society said, when I said that to them, because I wanted to call it I call them the tabloid YouTubers. You know, they're not really into weightlifting, but they're in it because they talk about famous guys like you.
Drama.
Trauma, yeah.
But society loved the excuse of saying, no matter what, you're going to get worse, so it's okay. When that's not true. Can you guys explain that to me? Why I was trying to say something to help them,
Right.
and they went against it. No, don't tell us that we can be good. I hate you for that.
It
Well,
allows you to,
I was going to say, what did people say when you were younger? They still just accused you of shit, right?
14, 15 years old. I'm gassed out of my mind, they said.
How much did you weigh at those points, by the way?
275.
At 16 or
15.
15.
And I'm going to send you the football picture where I'm in the
Yeah.
Seattle
Oh my gosh.
Times and I'm holding my helmet. And I put up the picture by itself and they're like, dude, you're 20 years old there. You're playing college ball. Dude, I'm 15.
Yeah.
And it even says, 6-something, 255 pounds, 260 during football season. So I came down from 275, get that football speed.
Yeah.
And it's like, I look like I just walked off stage as a bodybuilder. But I'm curious
This
on
is that picture you're talking about, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's 260 pounds.
Yeah, people.
That's going to be tightened. A little bit bigger.
People
Look
definitely.
at me here on the middle one. Play
Oh,
that
okay.
one.
Right here.
No, go up.
Up?
Go up right
Yeah.
there.
Oh, I'll find
Watch
the
what I
video.
say. Yeah, that's me.
That's him.
Wild.
I say
You're
we're
like
the
14?
rebels.
How
I'm
old were you
15,
then?
16 there. Oh, that's 13 down below.
Yeah. I was showing
Click on
this-
the one, go
this
to the right.
I'll do it.
I guess your left. No, that'd be your right. No, go all the way to the right of the screen where it shows my face.
Over here. Oh,
Keep
right
going.
here.
Now
sorry.
go down there. That right there.
How old were you
I've
there?
never seen this
13.
one.
Peach fuzz is starting to come in. And I put chapstick on it to make it come in. I wanted to be a man.
Okay.
Look at the chest. Now go look
crazy.
at Titan's pictures at 3 years old
He
and look at
does.
his lower chest development.
I've ever
It's
seen it.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Arnold
Yeah.
saw the photo. He goes, Mike, why do you Photoshop your child? And then Mona goes and shows him a video. Then he goes, okay, only with Eastern Bloc woman you have child like
Yeah,
this.
I had to show the video. Yeah, because I'm like,
Eastern Bloc
Yeah.
women. There's a few things, man. Like the first thing is I think it allows people to bolster down on their personal belief systems. Like there are guys.
What does that mean?
Greg Doucette. I'm going to say
Okay.
specific names because there are guys like this where I watch their videos. I'm like, you're giving people information, but you're allowing people to believe things that's going to make them not push themselves. So Greg makes all these Natty or Not type videos where it makes young guys are like, oh, well, yeah, that guy's on drugs, that guy's on drugs, that guy's on drugs.
Right.
There's no wonder why I look the way I do. So there's no reason for me to even try because I got to get on sauce to look like that
What's
guy.
the point of him doing that?
Well, it gets
they
views.
all do that.
yeah.
Yeah, it gets views and engagement. Like that stuff. It really it allows, and people are drawn to it because it allows them to be like, well, that's why I don't look that way. Not because of the work I do, or not because of my genetics. I'm not that way because I'm not on TRT or test. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is when we were talking off camera, you were mentioning how when you started working out, the people that were around you, and I think you should talk about this, were some like high level guys that you didn't even realize. And when I came into super training a few years ago in like 2015, all the guys were lifting more weight than me. But once I got around those guys that are lifting more weight than me, I just suddenly started magically lifting more weight, right? And you've been around elite people since you were a kid.
9 years old, I was first in newspapers, Seattle, Washington, Seattle Times and stuff, because I was doing half marathons. But I was already winning and jacked. And so I got this 9-year-old picture of me going through the newspaper, and I'm like this. And I didn't realize that it was a cool thing about who I grew
He
up
also
around.
played soccer.
I didn't play soccer. That's not true. There's no
you gotta
photo.
get
It's
soccer.
photoshopped. If I want to see
You did it
guys
all. You did.
try to score for 3 hours and none of it, I go out with my buddies to a bar. But what you were talking about is Doug Fruchey Doyle Kennedy and Jeff Magruder. And Jeff was the guy I went down to, and he says, "Kid, you're too young to have a membership, but this is what I'm going to do. You put the weights away, and you can work out here." And he kept testing me. Okay, now that you've done that, let's do the workouts and all that stuff. And then by 14, I was already doing walkthroughs with the old take the person through the workouts. And I was like, okay, we got to do shoulder press, 3 sets of 8. And I was 14 years old. But I was around these guys thinking that these guys were the average. And if you guys go Google any of those 3, you'll realize they were the greatest. And Doug Fruchey, especially for me, because he was the athlete. He was the fullback, and his records still stand at his college. So it made me, and I'm going to ask you all this. It made me realize when I got older, is like my ceiling was here. The strongest deadlifter, squatter, bencher. That's where I thought. And then I went above it and said, I want to do what they did, but I want to be in great shape like a bodybuilder at the same time. And on top of that, Bruce Lee was one of my biggest idols. I wanted to be athletic and martial artist. Now, hold on for a second, because there's a point to this. I took something that, is it possible? I don't know. I think I did pretty well doing gladiators in my 20s, 30s, 40s, and going on 50s. So I've been healthy for a long time and been able to be active. My question is, why did I go, I can do what they did, but better? Instead of me going, well, if they're the greatest, I should be down here. So why do people instantly go, like you said, I'm telling these guys, you're listening to tabloid guys like the guy you just said that says, everybody's on it. No, you were on it. You held it for a second, and then you don't look as good as her, and you're the same age. She lifts more than you now. So it's not this miracle thing that you get to keep. It's not that. But why wouldn't they go, I don't care if this guy did or didn't do it, I'm going to be better than him. And try to one up instead of going negative, going, I'm phoning it in, forget it, they're all on it, I'm out. Why do people do that?
I think it just gets attention, and people don't care.
No, not them, not the people that are doing the bad stuff.
Yeah,
it's because they have.
I love Kenny.
I
love Kenny. Kenny's a nice guy, and I said to him, I said, the point of me trying to pull Mona in there is that you guys give information, give all of it. Give all the information. It's like there's women out there that are walking around stronger than guys, and they're not on anything. They're females. And you're saying a guy can't be somewhat muscular? It's like you guys look for excuses. And that was my point of bringing Mona in there going, listen, you're on it. You're a young kid. You're 20 years younger than her. She just had a kid. Show your body. Show your muscles. And that was the point of pulling it in. They're trying to show these guys and go, there's some kids out there that I'm going to reach that are in small towns, and they're going to be the genetic freaks. Like I'm going to meet a genetic freak later today.
Oh, yeah.
But those kids go, I'll be the one. Where the majority of society goes, no, I want to hear the excuse so I can phone it in. Can you guys tell me why humans do that?
I can't even really imagine, because like I'm just thinking about like when I started lifting, I was in a similar culture that you were in as well. And I think some of these people that make some of these posts online, they do get a following, they do get some people behind them. But I think a lot of it is like you're saying, a lot of it's a lot of young kids, because the young kids just started their journey. They've been lifting for a few months. They didn't really see a big difference yet, because maybe they haven't stuck with it long enough. They probably just haven't been consistent enough yet. But what happens if you double down and start to go all in rather than only making it twice a week and missing a week and so forth? What happens if you go 4 or 5 days a week and you do that for 3 months and you have a powerlifting meet coming up and you have a plan and a program and you start to eat better, you start to sleep better? A lot of the gains and stuff like that, they're going to come super fast. And as soon as they do, other people are going to say, you can't do that at 15 years old. That guy's got to be on steroids. Right. They'll start accusing you. I mean, I'm sure you've been accused since the time you were young.
I was 16, yeah.
I was 16. Accused when I was really young. I didn't start till I was 12, but everybody thought I started when I was 11. Steroids, that is. No, I'm just kidding.
I was accused when I was pregnant.
Yeah, a little growth hormone for Titan, right?
Titan, yeah. Tren milk.
No, I've had people, they always want to talk, the steroid thing. And even now many years later, after Bigger, Stronger, after I said my piece, after I said, yes, I do use performance enhancing drugs, and I still use them today. I am very open about it. But even when I post something about my diet or post something specifically, like here's what I'm doing for running and here's what I'm doing with my lifting and here's, they're like, yes, well, it's easy for you to say because you're on stuff.
Right.
There was a time when I wasn't on stuff. And when I was in my 20s, when I first met Mike, I was still in shape. I was still strong. I wasn't completely ripped or shredded, but that was not the main focus at the time. I was playing football and doing some other things. If I put my energy into that, I'm not sure exactly what would happen. But when we first met, it wasn't like I was tiny. I was probably 215. So I was only, I don't know, 20 pounds, 15 pounds lighter than I am right now. You know, so I think a lot of people, they don't understand what you can push yourself to. We don't have any idea of what the limits are.
We're going to find out, though.
I just saw a post the other day. I sent it to you guys. The guy was saying that all of the times for women in track, 100 meter, 200 meter, 400 meter, this guy thinks they're all drug induced because they're from the 80s and no one's ever even come close to them. But what it makes me think is like, okay, well, there was a lot of records that have been broken in other track. And so are you saying that the men's records are somehow more legitimate? Like, did they get tested more rigorously, or, you know what I mean? So like,
we're missing something here.
Right.
we're missing something in the discussion because of the fact that I think there's a portion of society that says, I don't need to do it, and I can throw it on steroids. Okay, you can say whatever you want about me. I'm on it, not on it. But it just seems like an excuse because I'm not relevant to your life. I'm not relevant to their life. So it doesn't matter if I did or didn't do it. What matters is the possibilities of what you can create for you.
Yep.
And they keep going, no, it's this.
Yeah, but I mean,
but hold on, because the point is, they can say whatever about me. I've been in the magazines forever, but they can't say that about her. It just went through a pregnancy and looked the same before, during, and after. It's like, wait a minute, a woman can be on steroids and have a baby? I mean, that's just, so nobody's going to say that. Not any human, no tabloid guy's going to go, no, you can be. You can't be, especially at her age too. That was another thing. You know, we're old in society's standards.
How old are you, by the way, so people know?
I'm mid-50s.
You're mid-50s. Do you mind?
I'm going to be 47 in 2 weeks.
And I mean, can the camera just hit both of them real quick? Like, can we just do
Hey,
I'm taking the shirt back off.
like, just settle down. No reason to get hyped.
This is, they keep going to that. Drop that. Because I think, and I think you are 100% at this point. Tell me if I'm wrong. You want to keep what you have and make it a little better in a productive way, a useful way of less pain waking up and more active and more movement. Is that right?
Yeah.
So the point of, and you want to keep what you're doing. That's why you've done what you did. And it's also, why would you want to change? It's like a beautiful physique already. You walk around like a Greek god. Society thinks that you get to keep this stuff. If you're going to do it, I don't care. Do it. I know,
but they don't know.
But just know the full consequences of doing it and not doing it. You're going to look great for a moment. But if you're a kid, if you're in your teens, don't do it. Don't do it, because you're such a young pup that your body's working so productive for you. You know, and you guys can speak about this. A teenager doesn't need to do that stuff.
It's not going to necessarily impact you being bit by the iron bug and wanting to go to the gym every fucking day. Right? That's the thing I think that's missing, is that you need that habit.
Yeah.
And if you're going to take steroids, it's going to be super helpful if you are already addicted to lifting or exercise in some way. So with or without them, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And I think that people like to hold on to the limiting factors. And even with some of what we're saying right now, people are like, yeah, but Mike, you're still on shit. You know, like they'll still go back to that. But there's zero, like, let's just say that all of us on this show let's just say we're super obsessed with getting out the truth.
Right.
What truth would it be? What test would it be? How would we do it?
Well,
And even if we did do it, what would people say? They would be like, well, Mark paid for it and those guys are
Yeah.
friends.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
He's off
there's
cycle.
not a,
Yeah.
he's off, so he's down.
there's not anything we could do because people will still say, oh, even the Olympians, those guys are on shit too. And they figure out ways of passing the test. So there's no way to, for us to share something that people would be like, oh, that's cool. He is natural after all.
So that is why I don't give a
curious
shit
on why
what
they
anybody
never
thinks.
they only talk about me doing that and stuff instead of going, hey, let's go back to the Mr. California when I won it the year after Rich Piana. I was 99. I won the Mr. California. Super heavies, big boy, boom. Let's take photos of everybody in the show because a lot of the guys were on it 20 years before. And let's take a photo of 20 years after.
Yep.
Now, majority of those people were on stuff, and they'll say they were on stuff. So if they're on it, why aren't those guys in that particular year the exact same as me today?
Habits.
So they were on it, but they couldn't maintain it, or they couldn't stay on the sauce? Is that? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Live your life. Stop using it as a crutch. If I'm gassed, cool. Freak it. I'm gassed out of my mind. If I'm not, that's the thing, though. It's like the Mike Ashley thing. I always go back to that. I was 17, 18, and he guest posed, and he just won the Arnold because Sean Ray failed. He did the drug test, and he couldn't pass, where Sean Ray always was an ADFPA lifter like me. And so I loved it. He was a power lifter, beautiful body, and supposedly natural. And he passed the drug test where Sean Ray failed. Sorry, Sean, but you know. Anyways, the point was, I heard that. I didn't go what a majority of society goes to. He's lying. I went to, maybe there is a Santa Claus. Maybe he is natural. Maybe, and even if he's not, I'm still going to the side of Santa Claus going, well, if he is a little bit, maybe I can be the first that doesn't. And I wish those people would kind of do that route. They would go, if you need it, you need it. Because in today's society, it doesn't matter if you do it or don't do it. It's like they said, oh, you'll lose your endorsement. Hey, Whitney Reed, I'm on so much gas. I'm on so much shit. It's like, that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because they know who I am. They've known who I am for the last 30 years. But to say that you're on the gas or on the gas, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody, if you got low testosterone, I think you should be on something. If you're a guy and you're walking around with 250 test level, you should be on something.
Yeah, that's unhealthy.
So I'm not the guy that's saying don't do it. I'm just saying the guy, understand what you're doing. And if you're doing it for the benefit to look great, it's the wrong reason to do it. If you're doing it to be healthy, do it.
I think we should segue into these duck eggs.
Real quick. I
Agreed or no agree? Do you guys disagree?
I agree.
I agree. And there's one thing I was going to mention. I mentioned that Kenny KO video because all the things you just said right now, the video was when Kenny was saying, oh, but as you get older, your test goes down. And you immediately said, no, it doesn't.
Right.
No, it doesn't. And what that showed is like most guys in their mind, they're like, yeah, when I get in my 30s, my 40s, my test is going to go down. And we literally just did a podcast with this guy, Dan Garner, and he talked about how literally your mindset, your belief systems, and obviously your habits can affect your hormones.
Yeah.
If you believe that's going to happen to you.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Stress will lower it?
Yeah.
The belief of something too heavy for you, the three plates on bench, can't get past it. 3 plates is too heavy. It's 3 plates. The mind just destroys you. And I wish that maybe that's one of the benefits I had is that my mind went the other way every single time. Can I be stronger than Jeff Magruder on the bench press and look better?
Yep.
Apparently not. Can I lift more than Doug Fruchey and look better?
You can't be
apparently not.
You can't be strong when you're getting leaner. You can't be strong when you're fasting.
But let's try. Where's the try in this?
Listen, everybody's talking because they've never seen someone like you. You have all the qualities.
I think John Cena's doing it.
But
he is.
I think John Cena's doing exactly what it is.
He's not as good looking as you are.
John,
Okay.
you're good looking.
Okay.
I kiss you. You're good looking.
No, John, you're not. But look at this. What is C.T. Fletcher said, right? When he saw you walking in back in the day.
He hated me.
can I use the F word?
Yes.
He said, fuck Mike O'Hearn. You know why? Because he was strong. He came and he goes, this motherfucker going to come here and take the girls. He's strong. He's good looking. He's got it all. I hate him. I don't want to. Yeah. And now he's like, all those years that my mind was thinking like that. This was like 5 years ago when we did the stuff with him. He was like, I don't know why I wasted those years being jealous. He doesn't even know what he was. He just didn't like the fact that he came in there good looking and he thought, oh, he's a pussy. I'm gonna smoke him. And then Mike goes in and then Lily lifts everybody. Yeah. So like, you know, like you just don't know. And people do not, well, guys do not like to see that. And I don't know why. If I see a good looking girl and she's hot, I compliment her. I'm like, wow, she's hot. Honey, look, she looks good.
But then later on you say, what a bitch.
But I think you guys are right that you guys get the luxury to have those mindsets around you. And all I was trying to do without even knowing it was trying to talk to these kids going, there's challenges. Life's not easy. It's not. And I don't know who says it should be easy in America, but it's not easy. But keep fighting. Try to be the one that makes it. Try to be the one person that gets over the hump. And I'm just a kid from Kirkland, Washington. And now I'm sitting here with you guys seeing your creation, which is beautiful, almost made me cry back there. It's a cool thing. And to see this cat who's obviously a fake natty walking around like he does, and me going like the Heath Evans, the football players, me seeing these guys in the locker room, knowing that there's these athletes that eat donuts and pizza, and they look better than the Mr. Olympia competitors. And they run, and they do their hundreds. Then they go lift up. They do everything the wrong way to be a bodybuilder, and they still look that way. Yeah. Humans are not equal. Sorry. We're not equal. There's different genetics. There's different things. But you can make yourself better no matter what your genetic makeup. And that's why I talked about Bryce. He's 50 now. He doesn't have low testosterone. It's not because of TRT. It's because he ate right from 30 to 50. And it's like, you're going to be a different creature now doing what you're doing. And again, we got you guys walking around just looking, I don't know, because you're training jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
So you train differently now, yes?
Yeah.
And you roll?
I roll 3 to 5 times a week,
which is not good for bodybuilding.
That's what they say.
It's not great to retain that muscle, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
But you're set up in such a way that, okay, you got some genetics, but you're not going to phone it in. But you look that good doing that. Imagine the kid out there that says, I just want to bodybuild. They'll get better. And it goes right back to what you keep pounding down. Just give it 3 months. Just give it 3 months to be 100%. And you create something different.
Yeah, I think with him doing jiu-jitsu and me messing around with some running, I mean, there's a lot of guys that run. There's a lot of girls that run and they still hold muscle. There's a lot of people that do jiu-jitsu and they still hold muscle. We heard all these things over the years. We've heard that, you know, at Gold's Gym, it's always a thing to like find like the best parking spot. Like those big bodybuilders, they don't want to have to walk any certain amount of feet to the front door. They don't want to lose their gains. But so much of what we've learned is it's just not necessarily true, and it's definitely not true for everybody.
I think the end of this, we'll talk. I'm on it. I'm not on it. Whatever you want to believe, I'm cool with that. But don't disrespect the legends before me, and that's why I hate anybody to say, and please go over there right now. I'll fish hook them like you got my shirt off. Don't say Natty on my page. It's not who I am and not what I do. It's the years I've been lifting. It's the stuff that I want to teach you guys. Your belief is set up by what you say. I got Lee Haney, Barry DeMay, who's another one. I got Lee Labrada and these guys, and I'm going to go start posing with Frank Zane and Samir Bannout. So I got these kind of legends that go, I love your career. I love what you did. And those guys did some stuff. So when you come to my page and you're just saying, Mike O'Hearn, this is all it is, it's like, all right, guys, whatever. I got the legends going, I like what you did in your message. And the message is, go to the positive side. Go to the positive side of that stuff on anything. On being in a deficit and moody and fasting. Step back, take a moment. But again, just with the Natty or Not thing, take the positive. Try not to do it. But kids, don't do it. It's like, don't do it as if you're a young kid. Get checked, and don't listen to these tabloid guys because they just give you the one side. They give you the one side.
Yep.
Gold's Gym, 4:30 a.m. Get your ass over there. Train with Mike O'Hearn.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Follow some of the eating protocol. Follow some of the sleeping protocol. Even
For
just,
years.
Just well, even just for a few months. Follow some of it, or in whatever the fuck town you're in.
Yeah.
Just wake up early. Go do 6 or 7 exercises at 4:30 a.m. 3 or 4 days a week. Eat 5 or 6 meals every single day. Just fucking do that for a little while, and you'll be insanely shocked, like the progress that you'll make, even if somebody did that just to 60%. But you've been doing 100% for 100 years.
I'm the guy that's absolutely, and that's the truth.
Yes.
I got a question though. If you saw these guys' physiques in the 60s or 70s, you saw her closing in on 50, having a child, and she walks around with these arms, gassed. Would you not? Would you say she's a little on something? I would.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Him? If he's walking around looking like this in the
Yeah.
60s or 70s, I'd be like, that guy's doing a little something. So times have changed. Nutrition has changed. You can create these kind of bodies. And I just pulled up Archie Bunker. Do you know what Archie Bunker is?
Yeah.
You know how old he was in that show?
No.
I have no idea.
47.
What?
Almost, when he started on that show, he was 47 years old.
he looks.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
In the 60s or 70s,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so now we are here. You're in your 40s. She's in her late 40s.
He looked like shit.
There's a difference,
Yeah.
right? Can you pull up a picture? Look at that.
He was 47?
48 when he started, 47, 48 when he first started. Also,
He did not look healthy.
what is the guy?
He wasn't healthy.
The guy that always puts his hand in his pants?
Eminem?
Bundy. Al Bundy.
Al Bundy.
Mhm.
Check his age.
Wow.
And pull a picture of Al Bundy.
And I think he
Now,
looks
the reason-
better now.
I think
Because he does
he's a
jujitsu.
roller. You know, he's
Yeah.
a 3rd degree.
Oh, shit. In what? In jiu-jitsu?
Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
So look again.
Yeah.
This is another guy in his 40s in this photo. Times have changed. Nutrition has changed. And he used to train at Gold's Gym when I first got there.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
It's a different world. You can eat healthier. You can be healthier. You can get sleep. You guys know about sleep, how important that is. That's something I really messed up as a kid. That 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning probably wasn't the best thing for me. But I never missed a workout. I never missed meals. So maybe in some sense, a percentage of it did help. But my point here is we're changing things. And this next generation could change it again.
Yeah.
So these 20-year-olds that are out there right now, and I'm going to meet a 21-year-old today.
Yeah. Can he?
Imagine him in 30 years.
Shit.
With what we're learning about how your mindset is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Power Project family, how's it going? Now, we love these fucking legendary tasty pastries, and
Love
you already
them.
know how good they are, but I want a hot tip for you. I want to give you a hot tip. Number 1,
Hot heat.
when you eat these things, 20 grams of protein, 5 grams of net carbs, put it in the microwave for 15 seconds. All right, we talked about how it can fit any single diet because it's high protein, very low carb. But if you put it in the microwave for 15 seconds, my fucking God, it will melt in your mouth. I highly suggest you could do this with any flavor, but if you can get your hands on the hot fudge sundae, oh, baby, Andrew, you're the one who put me on this shit, man.
Yes, seriously, you guys have to try this, but please do not microwave it for more than 15 seconds because the inside turns nuclear. But to me, this tastes like an old school chocolate donut for some reason. When you microwave it, it completely changes the flavor and it changes it for the better. But you guys got to head over to eatlegendary.com and at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save 20% off your entire order. Again, that's at eatlegendary.com. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes. Let's get back to this podcast.
I'm pretty sure for a long time you're pretty big on naps, right?
oh yeah.
And I think it's like a post-workout, right? You come home from the gym, you have your post-workout shake. I don't know if you have a food too.
when you're doing power bodybuilding.
Oh,
Shake, food,
Yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
sleep. How much, an hour or just do what?
it was a fall sleep, wake up, whatever it was.
Half hour, 30 minutes.
It could be
Yeah.
15. It could be that little Peter
How long
Pan.
did you do that? I mean, you've been doing that
Still
for,
do it. I still do the nap.
Those gains set in.
Yeah, I get the workout in. I get home, have my meal, and and understand the way I'm dieting right now, if you guys are confused, it's not how I diet all year.
No.
I stay off season 9 months out of the year. I believe that for me, I need to, if I want to continue to do what I'm doing, I need to be in a surplus, not in a deficit. For me. And I also have to eat with her. She eats like a horse.
I'm hungry.
You said 300 carbs, right?
300 grams of carbs.
Didn't you say you've been out of the gym for a little while too?
I did. I decided to. So he got in amazing shape, and we set up all these photo shoots and filming and so forth. So I said, you know
We didn't
what?
even talk about that yet.
Yeah, I said, I'm going to take off from the gym completely, not work out. I got off I'm still eating through the day, like meals, but I mean pizza every night with Titan, and we having, in and out and like all that kind of good stuff. But I haven't worked out. I haven't worked out in
3 weeks,
3
4
weeks.
weeks now.
Yeah. And the body feels good. You know what's mind blowing?
Yeah.
My body likes it. I took this time off, and I don't
So
know
hold
what
on,
to
you took
expect.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
You're eating carbs,
Yeah,
pizza and stuff.
yeah.
Can we see an ab?
An ab?
Yeah, can we see an ab shot?
Yeah, you can see
Pull a little
it.
bit
You
right
do a
there.
double
That's good.
bicep?
That's good right there.
Holy
Holy shit.
Yeah, look incredible.
Turn that way.
Fucking wild. Get right next to Mike. Right there. There you go. And Titan's how old?
Look at her. Dude, I don't get those shoulders and biceps, man. Like,
What?
I always say Titan takes off the mama.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just my body loved the time off, the calorie intake, and people don't realize that you need that. People.
So what happens to you guys? Do you get those questions? Hey, I'm taking time off, so I'm going to be relaxed on my diet.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
never been me.
Oh yeah, people do. Yeah.
Why? Why
Or-
do they do that?
Or someone has an injury and they're like, "Yeah, I decided to say fuck it," and it's
Yeah,
like, no,
what
that's
the-
when you turn it up on your diet.
Oh my gosh.
Go the other way.
I'm messing up. Someone passed in the family. That's when you need us. That's when it's not when I'm getting ready for a show. That's easy.
Yeah.
You got a show. Like I got ready for this movie, and they said you got this much time to get ready and sliced. I said done. It's like one of those things. Can you ride a horse for the movie? Of course I can. Do you know how to sword fight? Of course I do. I learned with Mark in the bathroom. So, no, it's like you tell me the time to get ready, and I'll get ready. And I was off season, so it was working so well. But people, they when one thing's bad, the whole ship sinks.
That's
It's like-
hard to recover from.
So what mentally can you guys say with all these people you're talking to? Because you just talked to this guy and he was talking about the mindset and how you breaking yourself down lowers your testosterone and breaks your body down. Number one killer is stress.
Number one killer, stress.
So what do you guys tell these people that go, hey, I injured myself? What are some advice you give those guys?
I immediately tell people focus on what you can do. And what you can't do, you can't do. You can't do it at the moment.
I'd drop this right now if I
You know
could.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not available to you right now. Be grateful that you can still go in the gym and
When'd you
train
learn
your
it?
arms and probably through professional wrestling. It's probably when I started to learn that, because I remember like my neck and like just weird shit would hurt, and I was
Yeah.
like, but what can I train? I'm like, my whole body does not feel great. Probably feels like first couple weeks of jiu-jitsu, especially if you're going hard with it. Just, yeah, whole body was pretty stiff, but I'm like, I don't really want to train legs, but they feel fresh enough. I think I can train those. So I'd always just focus in on what I could do.
So your body's going through a trauma and you tried to find something that is beneficial instead of just going, if the body's tired, let me just phone it in. Maybe take in some bad food to help calories for recovery.
Yeah.
Doesn't most people do that?
You learn some of it through sports too. You know, when you play football growing up and play different sports, the guy who twisted his ankle the day before is still at practice, still watching practice, still participating in some way. And maybe it's a quarterback that rolled his ankle. He's still chucking the football around. Maybe he's doing it from his knees because his knee hurts too bad or whatever. His ankle hurts too bad. There's always, you can always figure out a way to get better.
And
Right.
for me, I learned that early. I learned that at 13 because I played soccer. I played soccer for 15 years.
And the man admitted it on social media. All right.
But I started at 6, and at 13, I got Osgood-Slaughter in both knees. So I couldn't run because I was growing. I couldn't run
Right.
from the age of 13 to 16, but then my mom got me a gym membership. I was able to do lifting. I was able to lift. So that's why actually bodybuilding and lifting is so great, because you injure your back, you injure your pec. What can you do with your legs? What can you do with you? There's always something you can work if you're injured. Even when I had I tore my meniscus doing some squats here years ago, but I was able to come into super training and just do upper body work while my knee was healing. So I came in with a brace on my knee and I was just doing upper body.
Is that because we're addicted to this stuff?
I think so.
I think you guys learned so much on this show because it's not about the rep range. It's not. It's not about, hey, what's your diet like? It's about your mindset on how you're approaching things. Yeah. And it's about when things get really hard, like you guys are talking about, go extreme on the other stuff. Clean up the other stuff. And I agree with that. And I've always agreed with that.
Is that what gets you out of bed? Like, is that what gets you fired up? Because like when you're getting sliced, when you're lean like you are right now, obviously single digit body fat, you look incredible. You get fired up to like lift heavy when you're like this, right? And why is that? That's like opposite. Like you're not supposed to do that. You're going to get hurt.
It's because nobody can ask me to do more than I can ask of myself. That's the first thing. And so when I wake up in the morning, I think everybody else does this. And I think I would disappear. And I also, so you know what? Skip everything else. Skip the training, skip building muscle, skip all that. I want to see how strong I can be in this sense. And for me, it's the continuous, can I? And it's every single time. Can I diet and be extreme 3 days fast, 1 day meal, 3 days fast, 1 day meal? Because they don't see that. When they see the lifts, they think, oh, he's powerlifting right now. He's doing 405 incline. They don't know I've eaten 4 times in the last 2 weeks. And I'm doing a water depletion. So they have no comprehension. But that is the root of me. I will forever be the wrestler in the 3rd round, grinding it out, thinking I'm losing. Thinking that I am losing. This guy's got me. I've got to go harder. That's just my mentality. I love that visual. And when I close my eyes, I'm thinking of the
you're lifting more weight than half.
The words that people say, oh, you're done. It's like, I love that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know this when wrestling, you're there, the crowd's there, and they get nasty. Mm-hmm. With American Gladiators or Battle Dome or all these shows, the crowd's right there, 20 feet off, and you hear everything. And so for me, I take that every single day. And it's that crowd that's with me going, And I'm like, I've got you on the ropes. You guys don't even know. I get to start eating again. I get to take some time off from movies and stuff and get stronger. You think this is strong? It's like the guy's fighting with the sword. Why are you smiling? I'm not left-handed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got this whole thing that I can pull out at any time to go up a notch.
I remember when I was training with you, it was like, not every day was like, we started lifting precisely right at 4, but like we usually would get to the gym at 4.
You can say I'm always late.
Lift at 4:15, 4:30, something like that, right? Mike was always late. But what I learned was like, okay, it took me, 20, 30 minutes to drive to the gym. I was in Malibu at the time. And I started to learn very quickly that you were showing up a different way than I was showing up. And so I was like, I need to get up probably an hour earlier than what I'm doing because I need to eat. The food needs to digest a little bit. I need to have, I need whatever hydration whatever I think that I need to go into this fucking battle. I should take it. I should utilize it for the training session. And that's the way you showed up every day. You showed up prepared, just the way you were mentioning John Cena showing up prepared. I have mentioned that on the show before. The guy was impeccable. He was always in good shape. He was always prepared. And I found the same thing with you when we would train. I wasn't like, hey, Mike, like, how's it going? You weren't like, yeah, your eyes all bloodshot. You're all tired. Your hair's all fucked up. You're always ready to go. You're always like, here's what we're going to do today. And yeah, like the workout would start out with lighter stuff, easier stuff, and then it would progress to get more intense. But there was never a day where you weren't prepared.
I appreciate that.
Being locked in.
Locked in. You got to turn it on. It's like a match.
Are you up at like 3 in the morning or?
Right now I am, but it's just because you guys know food kind of keeps you
Restless.
mostly at this leanness.
You mean
It's the
today?
only
Yeah,
thing
we
keeps you.
flew in early, so we had to go to the airport at 6, and I think he was doing cardio at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock on
He did an
cardio.
hour cardio.
On like a treadmill, you still do it? You just walk?
elliptical.
This one was an
Elliptical?
elliptical this morning.
Elliptical today, yeah, but I mean an hour cardio. I would have slept an hour today because I was so tired.
Yeah.
But he went to sleep.
But I was
late.
thinking
He
if I
still
get
got
up, I'm fasting again. I do an
Yeah.
hour of cardio then maybe if I come here, I could do an hour of cardio here. And then when I fly back, and then I weigh in tomorrow morning.
You see what I'm saying?
You oftentimes will do like 2 hours of cardio,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
For like a few weeks
Yeah,
in a
Extreme.
row.
yeah. Just for like a
The
few
last
weeks.
stage before photo shoots or whatever. And then I'm going to be guest posing at the Mr. America.
I think it's so funny because I don't think you understand how smart what you do is.
I don't think I realize, and when I say things, I assume, and this is where I'm an idiot, I assume that they understand that, the majority. And I put out a video, and then
Kinda think it's
the one guy
sorta normal.
edited it. He edited the video, and he says, Michael Hearn says, never do cardio. Okay. Obviously, I've done cardio my whole entire life, but there's a portion where you shouldn't if you're trying to do what I do. There's a portion that you can't use all your Batman utility stuff. And that's why I love the fast, because that will forever be, not many people have given me things to put in my belt. You gave me something to go, you got one more thing that you can try. And that's what I look for.
Yeah.
I got another thing that I can try
There
to
you
take
go.
me a little further. Well, you won the universe 30 years ago. What are you doing? I'm competing every day. I just love that. And so just to answer the question, yeah, I do this kind of
Very
stuff
smart.
and I do the cardio when it's supposed to be used for that aspect, or I'm like Stan Everton. I got to burn more calories. Get a second workout in. Don't go to the cardio.
I said, honey, I'm going to start my workout. Now I'm like, I got to get back in the gym and my diet. And this is what I want to eat. We're doing like start with a dry out. I said, maybe I should have a little bit less protein than you. And he said, why would you do that? He said, you have to start here because we got to find the goal. And then you have somewhere to pull back from.
Yeah.
So it's stupid to start low here with the, just start big. And I'm like, yeah, damn it. Yeah, you're right. You
But
know?
that guy said, yeah, don't do cardio. No.
Oh.
Choose it at a time where you can do a hardcore cut for 12 weeks and pull it in. Cut the calories at that point. Extra supplementation if you want. Better sleep. Tell the family that you're going to be committed to something for 12 weeks. Then you change in 3 months. And then you can go back off season and correct everything. It's just, I mean, you guys have known and been in this long enough that you understand that. And then you learn. We learn. It's like hey, I got to have a big carb meal before I do legs today. It doesn't matter.
no, yeah.
It was yesterday that you should have had that carb meal. And me and Phil Heath were talking about that. It's like everybody does right now, this moment. If I eat the carbs now, they're going to help me in this workout in 1 hour. Yeah, but if you had a good sized meal last night, just like on a bodybuilding show, you fill out the days before to prepare. So it's all a fun science, but I will say this. I just finished, I think we're done with it, Magazine Dreams with Jonathan Myers and the production and everything. This movie's going to be sick. They're calling it the wrestler of 2024.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
It's
and
so-
it is
it's so
gritty. It is
badass.
hard. The character I play it was so awesome. So I doubled classes getting ready for this because it was such a uncomfortable character.
Acting classes.
Yeah.
And we went deep. And this will be out next year, but I'm so excited about this project because of the fact that, first of all, working with Jonathan Myers, who's going to be the lead actor. And also he just
Was he
took
great
off
shape?
right after this to film The Avengers. He's one of the new Avengers. But he was pull him up. This kid is
pull him up,
awesome.
please.
4 years at
They
Juilliard.
did
Pull
it.
him up here, would you? Jonathan
Well-
Myers. Magazine Dreams. You can see the whole cast on Magazine Dreams IMDb. But I was saying, wow, he's gonna be this bodybuilder kind of jacked guy. And I'm like, he's an actor. And then I got there, he's a Texas kid, played football.
So nice. Such a nice
It's
guy.
cool to meet somebody, and you always worry when they're that successful at such a young age. humble and kind. And this kid is, you would think he's been lifting his whole life. And it's like one of these guys that you're going to introduce me to. He had some genetics, but his work ethic, the first day on set, he didn't even talk to me. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. You know, he's got his music on and everything. He was in character to and from set, during set, the whole time. And his character is the lead, and his character goes through an arc.
Wasn't he in Creed 3 or something?
He's in Creed 3 that's coming out. He's in,
like he's done
you got a whole list. He just had his own HBO show. But it's cool to see people at that level be so committed. And this kid, and they're going to, I love when this guy comes out, because didn't they just say, all these guys saying that this guy,
there he goes.
Oh, this dude.
yeah.
Oh, I've seen him in so much shit.
Look at this
He's
one right
Kang.
Yeah.
Yeah. People, I saw a video where on YouTube, someone was showing him working out for Creed, and they're like, he must have been on so much.
Okay, so jump into this. Jump into this. So they said Thor was on stuff. Dan Bazarian, and the other guy, plates for dates.
Derek.
Great, yeah.
And there's like, what are you talking about? Mona's arms are as good as that. That makes no sense. These guys, they do what you say. They spend 4 months kicking ass, being precise, and they weigh their foods. They do it perfectly, but it's before this.
Yeah.
This kid, I don't know what he looked like 10 years ago, but look at his physique.
Yeah.
And no, sorry guys, that's Natty. And when this movie comes out and they see what he looks like here,
Oh, damn.
Stupid.
oh dude,
Is he even leaner?
He's doing some
Good,
shots
yeah.
with me.
Yeah, he's posing on stage. Yeah,
He could walk on the Olympia stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. What's even
And he trained for 16 months
Yep.
with a buddy of mine,
Yeah.
Rhino from England. He was on American Gladiators back in the 90s.
That's what trained them.
And he trained him, and we were talking about that, just his training for the project and stuff.
What was really sweet of him is that when we finished the set, we were there for a few days. We went to the trailer, and he actually sent Mike flowers. Well, us, a big bouquet of flowers. I mean,
He's
who
the lead
does
actor.
that?
He doesn't have to do that.
He
That's
doesn't
that's the
have-
producer.
So sweet, like it's just.
If you ever see an interview of him and he comes off really humble and kind, it's 100% who he is.
Yeah.
We spent long days together filming and crazy scenes where emotionally draining, and he was always the same kind of.
How long have you been taking acting classes for?
1990.
He gets heavier into the classes when he approaches a movie or when something comes up.
But
and
always stay in class.
But
Jonathan Scheck said that to me. He said, always be prepared, always stay in class, always continue. But from the first movie, I did Death Becomes Her in 1990, and I've continued to stay in class. And I'm glad that this part of my career is really taken off now. We did 6 movies this last 2 years, and there's the characters and everything. But I couldn't have done these 20 years ago. I could not have done this movie.
You didn't have the skill set?
I didn't have the confidence, the skill set, the emotional fortitude to go, I need to be this. I can't try to be the good guy here. You always try to be a nice person. You always, like people come in to train with me. I'll always do that. That's easy for me to control. But I had to let go of who I am and be this character to make it work. And so it was something so outside of my realm of going, okay, I'm going to be this guy. So, because most of the stuff I get are like the one that we fly back tonight for, and we start filming tomorrow, is Divinity, and it's like Mice and Men. So I play the character of kind of Lenny, the younger brother of Stephen Dwarf, where I think he is.
I just love that for you, and just the look.
It was another character I don't think I could have done 10 years ago, because he's such a.
How do you get all these roles? Like you're always the Greek god.
Yeah, those are easy. Those are easy.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh, we need somebody that looks like, Michael Hearn. Like, okay, jeez.
But these guys are great.
Have you ever seen Peacemaker with John Cena?
Of course I have.
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm so proud of him. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing here, man, is like, okay, we know about you getting up at 4 a.m., doing that literally every single day, doing that for over 30 years. But you've been taking acting classes
45 years.
45 years. You've been taking acting classes since 1990. Like, this is another aspect of things where it's just like, you're doing these things behind the scenes, because I don't think many people know that you've been taking classes.
Doing jujitsu now.
And you're doing jujitsu with your son. You're doing all these things.
So they've only seen the bodybuilding, really, because even though I'm doing the other things or competed in martial arts and stuff, they didn't see I got inducted in the Hall of Fame of the Masters Hall of Fame of Martial Arts in 2014.
That's when
So-
we started dating. I remember
That's
once
when
said,
you went to your
"Michael's
first
like,
red
would you like
carpet.
to go with
So
me?"
there's things I've done in my
Yeah.
teens and my 20s and stuff that they just go, "You're an American gladiator. You're a bodybuilder. You're stiff. Okay, let's challenge. Let's go."
Yeah.
So they have no comprehension. The majority don't have no comprehension that bodybuilding, everybody bodybuilds. Is that not true?
Yeah.
Every athlete.
A lot of people do.
Every
Yeah.
baseball player goes into the gym, works out. Everybody. I just take it to a little bit more extreme than most. But I've been an athlete 3 times as long as I've been a bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
3 times as long as I've been a powerlifter.
Have you ever seen him like with a real injury or anything?
Injury, no. And
Just
that
owies.
kind of like his owies are lame, okay? They are, because it could be like, maybe just sore from switching workouts or something, and then it's like an owie. But it's impossible, I feel like, for him to get injured because he trains really, really smart. I see him going into the exercise, and I could see how his brain works, the form. Like, there's days when he goes in, like the other day, and I don't know what we started doing, and he goes, "That doesn't feel right. We go into a different exercise.
Yes.
It does not move. I'm not gonna do it. Let's go.
Why are
Yeah,
you
we'll do
so
something
stubborn to
else."
stay in something if your body's really shutting it down?
Uh-huh.
Because he's been in a deficit. You were fasting
So
then
you
before.
did your first show. Can you explain to them
Yeah.
what that feels like the last 2 days? Where the water comes out.
Yeah, the last couple
Your
days.
fascia gets stretched because you're adding in the carbs, but then
Yeah.
you're
You
Yeah, the last-
cramping, everything.
The last few days are so difficult that it messes with you for like maybe about 2 weeks afterwards,
right.
especially if you're not conditioned to it. So I had no idea like what was going to come. People try to warn me. They're like, "Hey, a couple days after, you're going to feel a little weird. You're going to be like, you might even be like depressed and stuff like that." But I had no idea. I just didn't care about anything. I thought I was going to be happy because the contest
Right.
was over. I thought I'd be pumped because I did well. And my wife's like, "Hey, yeah, let's go do this." And she's like, "You want to go to this favorite restaurant?" And like, I'm like, "I don't care." Like I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
have
weird.
You
the
didn't have to
energy
decide,
didn't
yeah.
hit me back yet again.
How
you know?
strong did you feel when you walked on stage? Not very strong
No,
compared to a powerlifting meet?
no.
Now imagine that's my approach. So when I did that whole water depletion and everything, and I didn't even carb up for it. I fasted for it. And that's the 405 that I wanted to see. Can I still get this? And I think the main thing is because I started at 9 and I started powerlifting, that I have made the connective tissue so strong that the muscle will never override it. And that was, I think, the main thing for the injuries. And it's like I always talk about a wrestler will tear up a bodybuilder. A 180-pound wrestler will throw around a 250-pound bodybuilder
Oh, yeah.
because of connected tissue, not because how they visually look. Very few guys in the UFC look good. This last heavyweight fight, oh my gosh, did you see?
I saw those guys, yeah.
It was a pre-fight.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk to some of these tabloid guys and go, "Hey, are you better cardiovascular than this guy? He's 5'9", 270. Are you better cardiovascular? Because you better not say you are. Because there's nobody better cardiovascular than those guys.
Oh, right.
And just because they visually look like, oh my gosh, this is a Pillsbury Doughboy. Physically, he's healthy as anything.
Yeah.
5-minute round going in jiu-jitsu or MMA. I mean, it's tough. They don't comprehend that. So my point is that I set up the connective tissue knowing that that's going to keep me healthy for a lifetime. I can get muscle or lose muscle. That's nutrition. And people miss that part.
You never like threw out your back or anything, or
So
I get tweaks.
to answer your question completely, he also does a lot of preventative stuff. So, like, he did PRP. He wasn't injured. We put it on YouTube.
I do things now.
Is that like, where'd you do the PRP?
I did it in my back and my knees. I'm trying to do
he's
preventative
like, I want to
stuff
get
now.
better. I want to get stronger. I want to feel better. And you did after. But it's like he does stuff that other people only do if
If
they're
they get
injured.
hurt. Why do they wait till they get injured?
Right.
Like,
So I went and did that, and I know these tabloid guys are great because they're just doing my PR for me. Oh, he might have heard something or this and that, and it's like, you know my career. I'm doing everything prior to that. I put lotion on the body still to keep the skin healthy because no matter what happens.
Thank you.
Right?
Talk to these two men about lotion, please. They won't fucking do it.
I agree with you.
too
But
oily.
I talked to Rich Kaspari, and he and I did it since we were teenagers. I wear sunblock. You guys call it makeup. Whatever. Cool. I just played a 38-year-old kid in a movie that's
Right.
Hollywood released, theaters, and Sundance.
Right.
And I'm playing a 38-year-old champion bodybuilder. And they were going to go to some other people for the role. And I said, go ahead, go for it. Go talk to them.
Yeah.
Come back to me when you're done.
Yep.
A week later, they come back and go, yeah, you're the guy.
Give us the quick skin
Yeah.
routine. Just like, what do men need to do? Because like people always talk about how young you look, bro. What do guys need to be doing?
Wait.
You've got to do, but you got to do it early,
This
like
is how
your
he goes to
age.
sleep. The lotion on his face
Yeah,
is
I
like
cake
this.
No.
I
Yeah?
cake it on. I cake it on.
Does the mask? It comes
Twice.
out tight and it's like, oh,
That's a night cream.
that's daddy.
Night cream.
Let's go. Okay,
Do
yeah,
it.
good.
Because by the time you start seeing that there's a problem, it's too late.
Uh-huh.
It's like, no, I don't care how ripped you are. And you guys have had some people on here that were a little older and stuff, but you can see that they're older because of the skin. And that's what I love about, they go, Michael Hearn's strong. Okay, but there's, no, that's just it. That's all Michael Hearn is, strong. Well, strong, athletic, still move, can still tussle, can still do an acting role as a 30-year-old. That's kind of cool. To me, that's more impressive than, don't tell me I'm strong. That's there's stronger guys than me.
Yeah.
That's not a big thing to me. But saying, wow, you look healthy and you're still in this career that your first cover was at 1920 and you just got another cover. And the other thing about this is the picture on the product isn't from when I won the universe 30 years ago. It's of me today. And that's what I'm trying to tell these kids. Do you want to keep it for a lifetime? Or you just want to be, you can do a supplement company and just use a photo from me competing 30 years ago. Not me now.
Yeah, we don't live in the past.
Yep.
Yeah, we just live in the present.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just,
we'll know
the
that.
skin is great. The mind approach is great. Get a good partner, because I do think I got better over the last 10. And I think my thing was get somebody better than you that makes you ante up instead of somebody comfortable. And I know that's a tough thing for a youngster, because a youngster is, I just want some tits and ass and something hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people fall apart and start to gain weight when they have a kid. Like sometimes it's, what the female
Tell
goes
them.
through.
Tell them.
Sometimes it's because of having snack food around the house and
Yeah,
stuff for the
yeah.
people. Are
But
like,
it goes
oh,
for the guy too, right?
my kids have, my kids have, they got, a parent will say, we got some junk food around the house for the kids, and sometimes I eat it too.
I hear that too all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
But you don't have to, it doesn't have to be that way.
No, it does not have to be that way. And it's just, like we said, we're not pushing Titan to do anything physically. We just let him do what he feels comfortable. But when it comes to the nutrition, we could control that right now. Listen, he's going to start going to school. And I don't know what's going to happen when he's in school, what he's going to eat. But I want him to go in school with the mental approach that this is what's good for me, because this kid is only been around people like Billy Gunn, like all the
Thinking
big
about
time-
the people Shad.
yeah, like
You know,
everybody.
and the reason why he's here today is because of conversations I had with Shad. So think of the people that come through that house, and that house is a madhouse.
That's all he sees.
That it's going to be the same mindset I had, because I thought the guys that I was with were just strong dads. They weren't the strongest in the world. The guys that come through that house make me look like a little kid. And so Titan sees these
Yep.
monsters, and when somebody says, my dad's big, he's
Yeah,
like,
he thinks it's
your dad's
normal.
not as big as my mom. But I want that to be the normal.
Yeah.
And I keep trying to say that with health and fitness. You guys are keeping the normal, the guy at Bally's or something. That's the normal. That's what you should look like. And I'm like, oh, you got to see guys like you and Mark, and you got to see these guys that lift this. That should be the normal. I'm sorry.
Oh.
That's just it.
Right?
There's one thing. There's such funny shit, man, that I've seen. Like, I've seen Greg do this. I've seen this guy called like Vitruvian Physique do this, where they'll make a video and they're like, this is what a natural physique looks
Oh,
like.
fuck off.
my
Yeah.
God.
Seriously. So it's like,
I've been lifting for 5 years, and if they look better than me, then they're obviously on stuff.
no,
That was
but they
my
use
quote.
examples.
But that was my quote that I said 25 years ago. That steroids is a word that the lazy use to describe any guy or girl at a gym that's more muscular than them. I said that almost 3 decades ago. And the point there was what you just said. They're going to say anybody more muscular than you, Mona's on something.
yeah.
It's like, that's so, I don't even know how to answer that. That's a phone.
funny.
That's just, I agree that's annoying though, that you would say
It's
that.
just a broken
And with-
mindset.
Is that what this all comes back to?
I believe so.
But seriously, it is a broken mindset that these guys go, I want the out before I get the positive.
Yeah.
Give me 5 reasons why this will fail for me.
How's it helpful to talk about why somebody else is wealthy? You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter. They're wealthy. If that's your goal and you're jealous of them being wealthy, then you just figure it out as well. It doesn't matter if it came from their parents or
Right.
came from they had some angel investor in the beginning or whatever the fuck it is. It doesn't matter. They figured out something that it sounds like you want to do, because otherwise you wouldn't be jealous, because you wouldn't care about it in the first
Right.
place.
Right.
How does that change your life? Because that's what I always use that analogy about money. So he's rich. Okay.
Mm.
So what? You're not going to try because he's rich? Because that's what I hear when they say
Yeah.
steroids. So I'm gassed out of my mind. Cool. Is that what you're going to say? And then that's why you're not going to do it?
It's
like,
so bad that even other people will say, even someone who's on shit, they'll say, yeah, but that guy's on tons of shit.
That's how it matters. And that's what I'm hearing lately. He's not on a lot, but he's on a little. When
Yeah.
I'm on a
We've
little,
been
but I can
hearing
be
that
stronger
lately.
than most people. I can look better than most people. I can do, and it's just a little stuff. Man, if I'm on shit, I had to been on shit from 11 years old till now, and a lot of shit. You've seen me lift. It's
Like-
never changed. But skip that. Stay with the mindset of the money. They listened, and this is like the guy you just said. They listened to these guys that had $1 million for a day. Now going into that, they got a little sneak to get into it, and then they couldn't maintain the $1 million, and they lost it all.
Right.
And so now they're out there griping. It's a metaphor, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're going to listen to him. Why? Because he had $1 million for a day. No. I want the guy that can make it, lose it, get it back, get it in different ways, come in different ways, and he's continuously a millionaire. I'll listen to that guy on stage all day. But if you had $1 million one day, when you're in your mid-20s and you should already have that, 20, it's like, shut up. Seriously.
But also, I feel
You
like
look that bad now, and you did shit. And no offense to Kenny KO, but he's done stuff, and he's a bigger than average guy. An average man is 5'9". He's a big, solid guy, but his physique next to Mona goes back to that whole scenario. No, Kenny's great. Kenny's great. He takes it, but
He's fun.
But he's fun. But he also realizes that. He's like, yeah, I've done it. I don't got the greatest genetics. And I'm like, well,
That's your belief.
That's your belief.
Yeah. But we
He's
do-
better than average. He's
is.
taller than 5'9". He's better
He's
than
like
average.
6'4".
He's a
He's
tall guy.
He's tall.
He's
So
tall as fuck.
going back to the money thing, why do they listen to a guy that may have been rich for a day and never rich again?
Because he's keeping it real by admitting that he got to that $1 million using a shortcut. Whereas somebody who worked
How does that help somebody?
Exactly, I don't know, but I'm just saying
Can you answer that? Why would that help somebody?
Doesn't make
It's the
sense.
crutch that Andrew
because he's
mentioned.
keeping it real. He's being honest.
That's what. Yeah.
That's being honest?
Yeah, but because the
Then why
general
doesn't he
the
ever
public,
say-
the people that are clicking on these videos, they want to hear like, oh, this guy made it faster and he's being honest. The Nsimas, the Mike O'Hearns that did it their entire lives. Well, fuck, that took their entire lives and they're lying. I don't want to go that route.
Yeah.
I want the
I'm
shortcut.
glad you said that, because that was another thing I heard now. And you being a dad, tomorrow's not promised to anybody. Is this true?
Mhm.
Can you be 20 and maybe not here tomorrow? Sad news.
Absolutely.
Could you be 50 and not here tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Could you have a child and not be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
So that whole steroid thing is pretty idiotic. And the $1 million thing is, my point there is, watch the guy that makes the money can continue to make it and continue to make it over decades. Warren Buffett or somebody. that's basic, that's so white bread, I guess they call it, right? Just boring. But he keeps doing it over and over again. So there's great ways to invest. There's great ways to build muscle and not build muscle, obviously. I guess my point here is your age, when you start phoning that one in, I'm more lost on any discussion now. Somebody goes, you're a loser. You had your kid when you were 50. I had my kid. And I've had 3 incredible freaking years with him. And so that's another one that I hear, that the time or age, oh, what's good is it? Why? Because you just said, we've lifted our whole lives. What kind of life is that? I've had fun, and I feel truly alive when I'm fighting the demons and that aggression in the gym. I feel more alive than I did as a kid being artwork. It's like I truly feel, so I'm living my best life not knowing what tomorrow is. And I said a statement, I do every workout like it's my last, because it could be. And I think Will Smith said the most beautiful thing is you don't know if you're going to see that person tomorrow.
I say that too all the time. I said, don't take anything for granted. And don't, just try to enjoy, live in the moment. I always say that because I know where I came from. And then I see people that they just go. They don't appreciate, they don't spend the time with where they should be spending time with their kids or family, whatever. And then they end up, 30 years later, and it's like, what happened? Like, my life just flew by and I've been working. I missed all this. So that's what we're trying to do. I know we had Titan old, but we're trying to, and it helped us with the shutdown with the COVID because we were in the house with him. It helped us so much to spend every day with this kid. So, and we got used to it. So now we just don't want to miss anything. We're there all the time.
The main thing for me is it's not about the workouts. It's about what goes through you mentally during the workout. It doesn't matter if you do stuff or don't do stuff. You can do whatever you freaking want. That's not going to change my life. But it's fun to do that moment for me. And regardless of what age you are, start appreciating this stuff, because when it comes back to it, you got to respect your one life. Like the guy that Chris is helping get in shape. He's living his best life now. So he's 200 pounds overweight. He's living his best life now. His enjoyment when he came out, I felt his energy.
Yeah, Russell.
I wish people would do that more. It's not about pushing weight. It's about moving yourself and making yourself and the people around you better. And it just seems like it gets lost in the translation of, hey, bodybuilding is a arrogant visual thing.
Why do you think, Mona, why do you think the kind of people that work out with Mike are, I know that high level people come here and there and they come at him, but why do you think there's some of the people that surround him a little bit more frequently that aren't in great shape, that are maybe a little older, that are, maybe it's some people that maybe didn't really previously believe in themselves, because some of the people that he works out with, I just noticed that, it's not like you would think. You would think that Mike would be in this like elite group of like 5 people that are a bunch of animals, bunch of savages, but it's not necessarily like that.
He's done the workout with a bunch of savages, and they just disappeared. So they can hang in there for as long as Mike keeps going. I see what you're saying, though.
I think I relate better with the people that had the emotional struggle compared to the guy that
like with Gavin.
Yeah, done. Gavin.
There's nobody like Gavin.
I know, but
yeah.
He's tremendously strong, a smaller frame guy, but he's going to put the work in, right?
But he's got, like, you work out with Doc every day. Doc is, he used to power lift, and he was a track runner.
Yeah, D1.
Right, yeah. So, like, it's also his mental approach. So he might not be, he's strong, he got a good frame. He never competed on stage, so he might not be this like bodybuilder or whatever, but nobody's got the mental approach like this guy. So Mike also likes to surround himself with people that are going to show up for the workout. He has so many guys, they come and go. They cannot hang in.
I think there's just so much more emotion and with the guy that's not there. I like the guy that's got demons from real life instead of the guy that wants to get on stage. there's something so much more deeper there. And I think I've also realized when you do this as long as I have, when Arnold was talking about weightlifting, he's talking about life. You really do. And you get to this kind of end of the road, kind of my back nine. It's like weightlifting is trying to fix my emotional problems. Weightlifting is about testing myself. It is about challenging myself. Those are much bigger things than a trophy. And now it's, can I hold Titan off? Because in 10 years, he'll be taller and bigger than I am by the time he's 13, 14.
It's
You
going
got
to
to
be
tell
fun.
him about that. Like, how big is he going to be?
They say he's going to be 6'8", 6'9".
What?
6'8", 6'9". He's already 4 feet 1 inch. He's 56 pounds and he's 3 years old. Go check the internet. What an average. Go do this. What's an average 7-year-old?
Yeah, weight and height.
Also, which side does this come from?
Mine.
Oh,
Mine.
yeah, you
I got an uncle, and he's like 7 foot tall, and he's a priest, and I'm like, that is so
The
crazy.
lower
'cause you
chest
see him
is
go to
mine.
the church.
The glutes and the hamstrings are mine. Man, this kid's got the dimples on the cheeks and the butt. He walks out to the pool. He's like this. What's up, Dad?
So at
Yeah,
7,
he's got low.
7.
at 7, a boy typically weighs between 40 and 72 pounds. So
Right.
him at 3 is it's fucking ridiculous, dude. My son's 1.5, and he's 25 pounds right now. So I gotta get him on that Titan meal plan. I gotta get myself on that Titan meal plan.
Yeah,
You guys said that you have him eating like every 2-3 hours, right?
he does. He's still eating through the night, so I know.
Does he sleep?
Yeah, he sleeps. He eats in his sleep.
Just makes him
I don't
hungry.
sleep. That's the thing, because I gotta feed him every 2-3 hours. Since I haven't slept in 3 years, he still does it.
You guys do need that kind of partner that will be willing to do that, because she's given up 3 years of that comfortable sleep.
Have you guys had to block out a lot of other stuff just so you guys can make time for the 3 of you?
So yeah, but it also, I felt like it could affect a little bit the relationship too, because like anybody else, once a kid comes into kids, you had kids, everything, your life changes, So I have to, some nights sleep with Titan, and I'm not sleeping with Mike, and because I can't get up every 2 hours out of my bedroom and going, to feed Titan. It's easier for me to just put my hand. So now Titan sleeps with us, so I could feed him right there. It's a lot of things that we have to give in to create this little creature that we're working on, and we decided to do it. I know it's not easy, and it's been a mental battle for years.
What does he eat in the middle of the night? Like a protein shake?
Goat milk,
basically.
and we put
Goat milk?
Goat milk.
and we put some vitamins in there.
That's
These
great.
vitamin D, and we use some of that protein powder that what's his name told us to, and it's just he's a little beast.
I know who I'm going to message when I have a kid. I know.
We're going to have this whole formatted for you, so you're ready to go.
It's not easy, but it's worth it.
Yep.
I tell you right now, because I know for a fact I didn't grow up like that, and I turned out like this. And neither did Mike. I mean, Mike started eating, late. Nobody fed you through the night.
Started at 9.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you
Late.
could only imagine. He's already ahead of us, and he's 3. So I can't even
We didn't miss workout. I didn't miss workouts. That was one thing she says. We're doing this. You don't miss one.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And he was coming. She said, well, you're going to be in labor for the next 12 or 24 hours. She goes, get out of here. Go work out.
Wow.
I didn't miss one workout through this 3
Nothing.
years. I didn't change nutrition. We didn't do anything. And
You didn't miss any sleep.
I didn't miss any sleep. So she took the responsibility of this. And so we agreed going in, that's kind of how it's going to be. If not, my work schedule or travel schedule doubles. It's like, get on the plane, go.
Mark, it's not easy when you have 2 kids, right?
But Mona, real quick, what allowed you to do that? Because obviously, first off, you look amazing still. Like, it doesn't seem like you've missed sleep, but you are doing all this. You still have all your career stuff. What allowed you to just make all those necessary sacrifices so willingly?
I think it's just the way I grew up and where I come from. My mental approach, when I came here, I was 16, but I felt like I was 30 mentally. And I was on the streets. I didn't speak English, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I end up.
Don't do a short story because this is
No,
actually
it's a long story.
this
I don't
is
wanna keep
more
them here all day.
impressive on how
Yeah.
she grew up because she grew up in Romania during the Civil War.
Right.
She had to get
yeah.
out of there.
Yeah. So I ended up coming to the States in 92. And then I didn't go to school, so I never finished high school because I didn't speak English. I came here, I was supposed to go to school, and there was nobody there to send me to school, obviously. So I started bartending at 17.
Yeah.
So that's where my life started. I started in Queens, New York. Then I moved up to the city. I did co-check for the steakhouse in New York, Nebraska Steakhouse, and then I ended up buying that place. So I hit the newspapers, the news. I was like,
Tell
and
them how
then-
you. So she's in the financial district of New York.
I've eaten there, by the way.
You've had, yeah.
And
And-
when my brother had his film
Yes.
at Tribeca.
I love that. And so some big hitters come through there, and so David Pecker eats there during lunch because it was a block away.
Right.
Continue.
So he, all the magazine industry moved.
David Pecker bought Muscle and Fitness, Shape, all the magazines. He owned
Yeah,
the
he
Inquirer.
owned like
so he
16
owned all
titles.
those.
Yeah, Men's Fitness, Playboy, all that. So they moved to Manhattan, New York, 2 blocks away from my restaurant. So he was coming over for lunch at my place, and he kind of heard about me, bodybuilder, and he was like, "Hey, I heard about you." He goes, "Well, you look great. Do you want to be on my cover?" I was like, "Me? On your cover? Yeah, when?" He goes, "I'll have somebody reach out to you." So I end up 10 days later shooting for the cover. I just did a little cardio. and then we became friends. And I was giving him advice on the magazines because I knew the fitness industry. I knew who, I competed, so I knew everything about it. And he loved it. And he said, "I think you should be a consultant and I'll pay you." I said, "No, I'll just give you advice. I don't want to get paid. I'll make money here." I had my restaurant. But we became friends. And then he said, "Come to the office. I want you to meet all the editors." So I walked into the office. There was 16 editors-in-chiefs. Robin Chang was there. He was running the Olympia. I mean, all the big shots. And I sat down and he goes, "Hey guys, I want you to meet the new editor-in-chief for Muscle and Fitness here is Mona." And I was like, "Who, me?" And I had my high boots, Yeah, my boobs were sticking out. I'm at the restaurant. I'm about to make money at my place, right? So I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "Playboy's next door." I'm like, yeah, that was my first cover.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it
2 weeks of cardio. That's what she looked
10
like.
days of cardio.
10 days.
Yeah, the 11th day I shot. I remember that. I came to LA to shoot that cover. So it was just, everything happened so crazy. I never looked for the job. I never looked to buy my restaurant. It just kind of, I don't want to say that it fell on my lap, but it kind of did.
Yeah.
And I took the risk. I didn't go to school. I didn't finish high school. Why am I the editor-in-chief for the magazine? I told David, I said, "Look, I didn't go to high school. You know my story." He goes, "We have 20 editors here that could edit. I just need your ideas." And it worked perfect.
Yeah.
It would. It's just, and then I did another cover, and it's just running my restaurant, competing, running the magazine. Everybody's like, "How can you do it?" So that mental approach of the work ethic to go back to how can I mingle everything with what we're doing now, it was already there. I was doing so much.
What she left out, though, and I think you guys would appreciate, and the viewers would
The
too,
hard stuff I left out.
There was a whole hard stuff. She didn't speak the language. You get dropped off in New York. I don't want to get dropped off in New York right now. But being a 16-year-old kid where her parents left years before, so she had to raise her kid, brother and sister. That's a different approach. That's not a normal life. And then she got here, and one of the first jobs was anything. So she did the hot dog stands.
Yeah, I sold hot dogs.
But there was such grunt work that she did that when her and I
sold
get
hot
talks,
dog. Then I went to a Romanian restaurant and I sang, like in a band, Romanian music because I didn't speak English. And then I worked for Yves Saint Laurent, which is a high-end fashion, whatever. So in the back office. And then somebody got me a job for computers, but I didn't know computers. I never touched a computer until I was 28, I think. So I was there just like, I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm, like all these things happen. And then I ended up going to this restaurant. Somebody said I was broke. It was cold. It was February. I was going there. And they said, "We have no positions. We have 9 girls working here. So sorry, we can't hire you." And then the owner goes, "Who's that?" He goes, "Oh, she's looking for a job. Hire her." And they're like, "Well, what are we going to hire her for?" Co-check. And that's how I started. And I was making a good money. Yeah, but
not even a month ago when things, or months ago when things were bad here, she's like,
it's crazy.
Chick-fil-A, is it Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out?
Yeah, it's
Paid
Chick-fil-A.
like $20.
$22 an hour.
It's a tough job.
I'd work there.
She goes, if everything went shit, I'd go
Are you
work there.
kidding me? In a heartbeat.
And so it's the mentality. And it reminds me of Terry Crews, because Terry Crews left pro football or asked to leave, whichever you want to say. And he was willing to move with his wife to California and take a security job in the parking lots of the movie sets. You know, the guy that sits there and says, yeah, park over there.
Yeah.
From pro football to that, how humble. The drive, the character. He's the guy that's going, I don't want to hear the excuse. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to make it. That's a different approach, no?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with her the other day. It's like, I said, well, we got to do this, 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 and this. And he goes, what happens? What happens if all this goes? Yeah. What happens? I'll go work at this place. And I'm like,
go start again. I made it from nothing.
There's a different mind approach. And you guys are running into that now with your guests and who you deal with. It goes back to that incredible mindset. And I've seen it in you, how you are now with the business, how you analyze yourself, how you pull back on things and go, I need to do this, I need to do that. The way you work out, that's another step for you. And it's like, this is when I'm around 24/7. So if you're thinking, I'm going to be kicking back now, I'm stepping it up even more. Because she's the kind of person that says, don't complain, don't do this, get out there.
Yeah,
your plate's full now. You asked for a full plate of food. Now go eat it. Now get your ass out.
What a couple of things I don't do. I don't complain ever. You never heard me complain. Never. I don't ask for favors ever. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor?
She doesn't.
I don't ask for favors.
I always ask that.
And if
why?
I don't.
But you answered. You answered.
It's anyway. And if I need something, I like to pay for it. If we go out to dinner, I'm gonna pay for the dinner. I don't. You know what I mean? Like it's just. Photo shoots.
So we're coming up to this,
photo
right?
shoots.
And I go,
pay for it.
So is Mark flying us up? We're doing his show? She goes, Mark's not doing anything. I'm paying for this shit. Yeah. I'm flying us up. Didn't even ask. I don't know if she did ask you around my back. She goes, no, we take care of this.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of individual I'm around, but that's what you got to be around.
Yeah.
And you did that coming to this place. You were around these guys that just took you to another level.
Yeah.
And I wish people would search. Not for the individual that fits in, not for the average. Search for the more advanced. Search, if you're at a gym, search for the guy that's the baddest guy there.
I want to give you a correction though. I was scared of coming here in 2015. I went to the LA Fit Expo so I could go network in 2015. He saw me at Barbell Brigade. He's like, hey, I recognize you. You're in Sacramento. Come train at Super Training. That's why I came. I wish I could say, yeah, I came to ST, but he invited me to come train.
I was confused. I was like, he's so jacked. He actually trained at Super Training. He was in Sacramento. Yeah. He was like, yeah, maybe I'll come by.
Well, look at you guys
and then
now.
I came by.
What do you think's changed for you in the last 10 years from your mid-30s to your mid-40s most for you? Is there something that you can say that's changed the most?
My body fat. I had a lot of fluff.
That's well known.
Oh, jeez.
I had a lot more body fat 10 years ago. I think just I feel like I'm improving with like decisions that I make, improving my communication, improving just how I go about doing stuff. Like it could be anything, and it could be my relationship with my son or my wife or my daughter or just any of it. I feel like I have a little bit better perspective just from getting older. So just a natural, like, I mean, I'm not even guessing unnatural, I guess. These are things that I have been seeking out. You know, I've been seeking out like help. Like the podcast is a lot of help. By surrounding, getting around other people. We had Bedros Koulian. I know you guys know him very well. He was on yesterday. Just having individuals on the show that probably are filling in like maybe certain gaps that I think that maybe I see society might need, but also for me as well. And those are things that I've been looking into for a long time. So probably just mainly that, just trying to zoom out from stuff and and also just kind of calming down about stuff. But that I think some of that came along with making some money though too. Like it's harder to like when you don't have anything, it's harder to calm down. It's harder to chill out.
That's one thing that I think I have. I don't think I can calm down unless I make. And she's the opposite. So I think it's going back. Yeah, she's like,
Yeah, because
we could lose everything. We have a great son and we're here. Stop it. And that's probably our biggest go-to because she doesn't fight with me.
Though.
Yeah, she's
I
this.
feel like it
she's
is,
always
right?
this.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm jumping back and forth.
And I
I'm
want us
either
to take
really good or I'm
vacations.
crying.
Like I want us to go places and, you know, kind of like take time away from work in a way, because work is social media. And we're always on social media, working on the phones, emails. You know how it is. And like, I want us to step away from that and really like enjoy the moment with Titan,
I'll show you guys
with
how
the
to
dogs. You
travel.
know, like,
I'll show you guys how to be lazy.
yeah. I like that.
No, because I watch you and you go off to the mountains, your cabin and stuff. And
You
I'm like,
need it though.
wow, I need to do
You need
that.
it. It's for your mental.
And we did this
Yeah.
months ago.
Yeah, for your birthday in
And
January.
we did it because I see you at your place and so peaceful. I said, let's take the pups. Let's get a cabin. Let's go. And so, again,
It goes back to the principle of rich for a day. You know, you're trying to. This is a really long. You
Yeah,
know, especially
yeah.
you guys are healthy. You know, you have a whole nother half to go. I mean, isn't that crazy? Like all the stuff that you've done and went through, and things that you've helped build together and stuff, and you still have a whole nother. It's only halftime.
Yeah, we feel like we have a lot more.
That's
I
that's
feel
wild.
so jazzed,
So there's
so
so much-
motivated because, again,
So much
because
more
of
to
him now.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Right.
I didn't know that. You're going to love it.
I know I will.
I know you will because I was the guy with dogs where I'm like, nah, I don't need a kid. I'm good.
It's a husky thing.
Yeah.
That's
People
where I
away,
am in
right?
life right now. I got the dogs.
I got the dogs. I'm good. And I don't know what clicked that one day. And I know my conversation with Shad really changed my approach. But when we decided to do that and then it happened, I'm still like, okay, not really. I mean, this is cool.
He was still like, what's going on?
What's going on?
We
What's
having
going
a baby?
on? But as he continues to go, I changed this so much. And so all you parents, I know that you guys out there watching this go, of course you change. And it's like, well, again,
In a
like
good
with
way, I
lifting,
feel.
I know a lot about
Yeah.
lifting. I knew nothing about not being the center of attention. And now going, wow, trying to stay in shape and create something for him is 10 times more motivating.
Yeah, it'll change so much more as he gets older too. Like that,
Yeah.
like you'll want to pour more into what he's doing, and you'll like want to be there even more, even though you're already there a lot.
Right,
Like
right.
you'll just, it's something that is really nice. You know, having a family, like going home to a family, and when I leave from here every day, like I love doing this stuff. Stuff's great. I love training in the
Right.
gym. I love the running that I do, but the best thing that I get to do every day is go home to my family. It's fucking great.
Awesome.
And they suck. They all fucking suck. They do. Like, hey, Jake, you want to grab something to eat? Like, I think it's just me and you tonight. He's like, no, I already got Subway. You know?
It's on the way.
And Andy comes walking in. I'm like, hey, babe, we're going to go out to eat tonight or something. I have a date. She's like, no, I got to bring Quinn to volleyball. And I'm like, it looks like it's just me again. But even though that
Even
happens
though
sometimes.
You're still going home, hoping something will come.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's nice. I'm very close with my family. My sister helped us with the baby. She stayed
Oh,
with us
that's
for like
amazing.
7 months
That's
almost
incredible.
when he was born.
Where does she live at?
Ohio.
Oh, okay.
And she literally left her job. She was working with a NICU with newborns. So it came in really handy for me. But yeah,
So
she literally left
Here's
her job.
what's cool is like, so Mona can't sit. I stopped watching movies with Mona like years ago. So she's the kind of person that just stays busy. There's a dish there. I hear a dish in the sink. There's this.
like to
There's this.
clean.
I got to take the dogs for a walk. I got to do this. So she's always like this. And I thought I'm at the pinnacle. Then her sister comes out and she's worse. She'll do all that and
cooks,
she'll
she
be
cleans.
baking at the same time and doing this and going, you know, I'm just like, this family and the way that they were, the parents left them at such a young
Yeah.
age in that situation, the bond that they have.
Yeah.
And I come from 10. I come from 10 brothers and sisters. And it's not even a tenth of how
Yeah,
she
if I
talks to her
call,
sister
if
when
I
she
call
goes
my
up her way.
sister right now or my brother, they're both in Ohio, and ask them to come tomorrow, they will quit their jobs and come here.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean?
It's a cool thing to see.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know, they'll do anything for me. I did extremely a lot for them because they're here because of me. I brought my family here from Romania. You know, I went through hell and back just to make sure that we all here. I brought my mom here, which left us back when we were little.
How hard was
You
that?
know, and,
'Cause,
Yeah.
I
brought
hear the
everybody
story
here.
about leaving, and then I have to meet the mom. I'm instantly angry.
No.
I don't want to meet this person.
We
Because my
don't-
mom
we
and dad
don't
hung
know
in.
what they went through when
I
they
know,
were
but
young.
it's a different mind approach. For me, I had a mom and dad that were there no matter what, 10 kids. And then I hear the story, and this is, again, just kind of telling you her mindset, is I would write you off. You left me at 12, 13 as a parent to fend for myself? That's pretty messed up. And she's not that way. She's like, no, I'll help.
Because you just don't
I'll
know
keep
what they
helping.
went through. You don't know when they grew up, what they went through. You don't know what happened to them in their young age. So why am I here to judge them? You know, it happened. We are healthy. I mean, I don't look at it. I don't keep grudges like, oh my God, my mom was so mad. No,
I'm Irish.
If I could,
I'll take it to the grave.
and I did the same thing for my dad.
Yeah.
I came here, my dad brought us here, and we came April 23rd, okay? And in September, he asked me to leave to go sleep at my friend's house, and I never saw him after, never saw him. I didn't see him after that for 8 months. And I left with nothing, not speaking any English, just going to sleep a night over to somewhere. And then I had to live there, so that's where I was on the streets now in New York at such a young age. But like years
To
later,
forgive them, though?
I
Come on, be
helped him.
honest right now. Would you, if your significant others, parents were that way, and she's saying forgive them, would it be
Yeah.
just easy? Yeah, okay, I'll forgive
yeah.
them too.
That's tough.
Yeah,
That's
forgive.
a tough one, right?
That's really hard.
It is
'Cause
tough,
when
but
it's-
listen, it's not right now. Guess what? Everybody's happy. I got my dad. I helped him with his business. My mom is here. She's happy. She's healthy. Everybody's happy that we all together. Like I don't. If I never talk to them and I never see them again, it's gonna be in the back of my mind. Like what would it be? Why why this? Why that? But again, I don't know what they went through. They were young when they had it.
I think that's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I wish I could do what she does, and I have with the mother and father, because I'm learning from her. But I think that's an amazing trait that you learn at such a young
And I'm
age.
actually, that's how Titan is growing up. He's going to be close to all his cousin. He's going to be brought up with that mind approach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not wrong though, right? That's a little tough on the heart.
Still looking to be right.
because-
here.
No, I'm just curious because I
Yeah.
think people deal with that. I think people get that bitterness of like they treat somebody bad and you're like, forget you.
Yeah.
You did me wrong then and I'm done with you. Where I'm the kind of guy that would go, all right, you did me wrong, I'm done. Where she's the kind of person that goes,
Well, honey, I know you're dieting. I know what you're going through. I forgive you. It's okay. It's
I'll
going to
take
be
the
better
shirt off.
tomorrow.
I'll start posing right now again. You want some of this? You want some of
see,
this?
that's why you're here.
You're holding a
That's why
little
we have a
water now.
kid.
You've been here for a couple hours standing.
Literally give me a month. Okay. Yeah, I'm literally taking this challenge. Like, give me 1 month.
1 month.
That's all I need.
Roll the sleeves up.
I'm being serious. Give me 1 month
Do
from
it.
now. Y'all about to see something wild. But
He's going to get in shape and we're going to roll. That'd be fun, right?
Oh my God.
That'd be
That'd be
fun.
fun. That'd be
That'd be
fun.
awesome.
We coming
All right,
back
so
for
1
the
month.
challenge.
1 month. We make
Look at that. It's a challenge.
I'm
Mark.
down. Roll.
Uh-oh.
and I need to get leaner, right?
You got to be in shape. We got to do it. No top gi.
No gi?
No gi.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
In Texas?
No.
Aren't you guys?
yes and no. If they take our offer.
You guys
Yeah,
are moving, right?
We're looking.
Oh, you're thinking about it.
It's better homes.
Uh-huh.
It's for Titan. It's the schools are better. We're only thinking about him really right now, because otherwise we would stay in LA. We wouldn't care. I mean, we've been there for a while, and Mike has been there all his life, and who
And you have
cares?
great friends there too, right?
We have some friends.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not great.
Dot.
LA is not great.
I mean, I was talking about Texas.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Texas is different.
We
but
got
yeah.
Todd Abrams
Todd,
right
yeah.
there
Yeah,
in Frisco.
yeah.
And
Heath Evans is there.
we have a feed with Heath and his wife, and the feed's name is Move to Texas.
I've never heard you say one nice thing about Heath.
Now you never know.
He doesn't have anything nice to say
What
about him.
am I going to say about that guy?
These two, man, they're just
yeah.
always at each other,
Always.
like all the time, like
They
really
abs-
bad sometimes
they-
too. And I'm
they-
like,
they
I'm
love
getting,
each other, yeah,
I'm getting
they-
out of the middle of this one.
Yeah.
It's a good
If you don't have
But
friends
it's like that
that,
on
right?
text message too. It's not, yeah. It's like, Momo, pack up your shit. Let's go. That's it.
Move.
Bring Titan.
He's an ass
Leave
when he
Mike
diets.
over there.
How did you guys meet?
He reached out to you.
No, you and me? Or-
Yeah. You guys.
She hit on me.
Nah. No.
Okay. Tell the
We
story.
knew each other from, I was the editor-in-chief for Muscle and Fitness magazine, and he was on the covers. And I'm like, again, this freaking guy. Anyway.
She thought I was gay.
I did.
She straight up thought I was gay.
A gay guy with 4 dogs.
April
yes.
1st, I got to say this.
A weird gay.
April 1st, me and Whitney Reed, you guys know Whitney Reed?
I don't know.
You know Whitney Reed?
I don't
He runs,
personally.
he
runs
ran
BPI and
does
all
a
that,
lot of
yeah.
stuff in the health and fitness cover model. So we joked around on April 1st. I said, hey, let's change our Facebook to in a relationship with each other.
What a joke. I was like, I knew it. Freaking gay. I knew it. Yeah. But
Anyways.
we were at the Arnold, and before the Arnold, I was running a party for Arnold in LA. We had a cover party for him because he was on a cover of the magazine. And I invited people they lived in LA. And then I said, who else do I know? So I sent him a message on Facebook. Hey, that's when I thought you were gay.
She slid in my
I
DMs.
said, +1. I said, bring your girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. So he shows up with a guy. He shows up
And
with a
again,
guy.
she thought I was gay.
I was like, what are you doing?
I'm not doing well here,
Yeah,
huh?
my brother was working with me. See, I told you he's gay. Yeah. I said, he can't be. Yeah, anyway. So we exchanged numbers and we started talking. I was talking to a gay guy.
Yeah.
And then we ended up going to the Arnold. Yeah. After the Arnold, nothing happened. You know, when we had lunch with a whole bunch of people, dinner with a whole bunch of people, and then he went to Dubai. And on the way to Dubai, he said, hey, I'm coming through New York, and maybe we could hang out. And I was like, oh, cool. I said, so how long you stay? He says, 2.5 hours. And I was like, 2.5 hours? He was just stopping through Dubai. And in New
looking for a
York.
quickie.
And I was in New Jersey. And I'm like, my
he wanna
assistant
go
was
shopping
sleeping
or
over my
something?
house. I was like, Nicole, this guy thinks that I'm going to drive from New Jersey to New York to the airport to actually see him because he's there for 3 hours. I said, what is he, retarded? Like,
So she comes.
yeah. So the next day, here I am. I text him, hey, guess what? I'm here. He goes, what? I said, okay, you're coming out? So he did come out. And then?
I knew for a fact that she was probably,
We were just friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because she showed up to a layover in New York with 2 Tupperware food with rice and chicken.
There you go.
Mark.
Yeah.
Way to a man's heart.
Gay or not, you mind? I was like, this motherfucker, I'm going to give you some chicken. He'll be all mine.
She owned a restaurant. She was smart.
Yeah. Well, I figure he's traveling.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I said, he's going to Dubai. Let me bring him some meals because he's eating healthy. And then also I brought him some Alka-Seltzer cold just in case. I was like, you're traveling, drink it, just to stay. I know.
Oh.
And a
Keep
battery.
him strong for that sex, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All 8 seconds.
And the phone battery so he could talk to all these other chicks. And they did that. I was like, let me
Wow.
just get it for him. And we met, we hung out for like an hour in the airport, and then he left.
Yeah.
And that was it. And after that, we just talked for a few months, and I came out to LA. Nothing happened again. We didn't have any sex or anything. I went over the house. He had this little party, and Gavin was there. That's when I met Gavin. Like 10 people, 11 people, and everybody left. And everything was on the table. Like nobody cleaned nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what just happened? And he goes, what? So I cleaned the whole house quick, like everything in the dishwasher. I was like, why did you just left? And he was like, yeah, I like that. I
Yeah,
really like
this
that.
she's different level.
Yeah. And I mean, so that's really how, so we were friends,
Yeah.
I would say, for quite a little bit. And
I knew I had to change, though. I had to change who I was because you come to America, not speaking the language without getting out of 7th grade, and you make multi-millions off of your wits and street smarts. It's like, oh, okay, this one doesn't need me.
Yeah.
She's not going to rely on my paycheck.
honey, I still don't need you.
Exactly. But truthfully, I mean, that's a good thing to have
That
in your
scares some
partner.
men, which is this is actually really strong right here because that scares men. Like men are like, oh, I need a woman that's gonna depend on me and need me for everything, so that right.
I don't know why
keep
that
her in
would.
line.
Because you want your partner to be a savage, right?
That's what some strong people want.
You need them in your face every once in a while, and you ain't doing, And so I agree that some people say that. I'll tell you an Arnold story. after, but I knew I had to change some of the ways I was if this was going to be anything.
But also, if we would have met like
if I
20
met
years
you
ago,
20
I don't
years-
think we would have been together. You know, the
I was too
industry
young.
is crazy. He was young. You know, it was just different times.
I was gay. I was partying. I was in the bird cage. You know, I don't know.
I think we met sort of like the
Right
a
time.
good time, and yeah, you know, he had a lot of luggage. I had luggage, and it was just like we just kind of like said, okay, is this what we really want? Like we were thinking like adults. It wasn't like two little kids dating, you know. And even when we had Titan,
I think that's why we had Titan,
Yeah,
is because we
yeah.
looked at it differently than young love.
yeah, it wasn't just
Because 20-year-olds have a kid. I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. Let's have a kid. And we looked at it as, I looked at it for a guy's point of view is, I'm going to be 50. She can handle this with or without me. And that was an interesting assumption from me, going, she could raise by herself this kid if I'm here or not here. And that made me go, okay, let's do this. Because I saw how she was with her family. I said, this would be amazing for a mother to have that kind of willpower of continuously loving regardless of how you treat. And then on top of it, she was financially set for herself and the willingness to work if she lost all of her jobs. It's like, she's never going to leave this kid homeless or with no food. And that's probably because of the bringing
right.
that your parents did leave, is there's that no matter what, I got you kind of attitude. And I'm like, no matter what, she's got him. So that's because we didn't want kids when we came together. And then within years, it was like, let's do this. And I think that whole aspect, I
Best
got lucky.
decision. Yeah.
I think I got lucky.
Yeah.
I gotta go on record to say this before I end up getting before the podcast gets cut off. But as weird as it may sound, you guys actually helped me decide to have a kid. Not it's just like click and hit it, but what happened was the first time I met Titan, he was just a little toddler running around his jumper or whatever. And I was telling my wife, I'm like, oh my God, Mike and Mona's baby is so cute. And she goes, what? I was like, he's amazing. Like, they just had a baby. It's so cool. She's like, you said he was cute? I've never said that about any baby ever. So then it hit me. I was like, oh shit, is it happening? Like, is it time? So seeing dudes like you, Todd Abrams, Mark Bell, I was like, like maybe it is time. But for whatever reason, seeing you, I kind of felt like you were like a big kid almost. Sorry if that's like offensive.
No, I'm good with that.
I felt like I was a gigantic kid that had years to go. But here's fucking Mike O'Hearn having a baby. And I'm like, I think I could do this too. And so a year
I take that as a compliment.
A
I think
year
some
and a-
people would say, oh, you're a big kid.
No.
If he can do it, I can do it.
But,
I'm glad that's...
a year and a half
How you
later,
saw
we
it.
had my son. So
Look at
I got to
that.
thank
I love
both
that.
of you guys. Yeah. So
Oh,
I wanted to make sure I
that's
got that
amazing.
out there before we
I
changed
appreciate
subjects.
you
Yeah.
saying that.
That's
I
the best
appreciate-
thing out of this day right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. But no, it was funny though. She was like, wait, what did you say? And I was like, he's so cute. I was like, oh shit. Like it was like weird realization on my part to be like, oh, what just happened? So I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's so
Yeah.
cool that you guys...
So nice.
I see some podcasts and I'm like, oh, they're just trying to get an agenda out, an agenda. There's no, there's a format to what they're trying to get to. And I like that,
We have no organization.
but at the same time, you get to the real
The
root
Mark
of
Bell
something.
Power Project.
She wouldn't have called you fat if it wasn't, or John Cena being pretty. So I think there's an interesting thing
filter.
that you guys get to, with this, it helps you guys grow as individuals too.
Big time.
And I think back to the conversations I had with Kevin Nash or Hulk Hogan or any of those kind of guys, or the football guys before that, or it's those conversations that get real. And I wasn't joking about crying back there. I mean, seeing Mark at the position he is, being the first time here, I feel like an ass. First of all, it took me so many years to come here, but it makes me so proud.
You're
but
welcome.
you guys are, yeah, it is.
Thanks, Mo.
She made it happen. I woke up. I'm like, man, I'm beat. I'm tired. She goes, get on the plane. you want to find your head tomorrow. You get on the plane.
If just in case you've never seen Mike injured, you're about to.
But it was just, it's cool to see that how you've grown and how you're doing it and how you've helped the people around you.
Everybody.
It's a good crew.
Your brother, man, he's like awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank
I've
you.
known that kid
God
for,
bless you.
it's 31 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be 31 years since I've known your brother.
Yeah.
And then nobody knows nobody knows my relationship with your other brother was a huge time with me for wrestling and what he did for me there. It was just an amazing connection. So, yeah, I got ties with this family.
It was ridiculous seeing Mike show up to like wrestling practice, and he's like,
Oh.
they're like, oh, do this, this, and this, and he's like, oh, like this, and then like this, and like this, and we're like, yeah. How'd I do? How'd that look? Is there something I can improve upon? We're like, well, it looked really good. It looked better than the rest of us. There was like scratching their head. They're like, he's really big. How did he move that way? And how did he move so fast? That was
Right?
weird.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that would have been interesting to see you take that route. But I'm glad you went the route that you did, because I think it was very intuitive of you to understand that, if you would have signed a contract, you are kind of getting owned by somebody, and you already know this, when you do sign, young people need to be very careful with the kind of contracts that they sign, whether it's a sponsorship or whether it's some sort of employment. Like, don't sign anything if you don't have to,
Right.
unless you really, really want to. Don't sign shit, because it's not smart, and it's going to probably take away from your natural course.
So the two facts one that you just said and the one earlier you said, the Arnold one I'll get back to, because the one you just said was something that I learned late in life. And my attorney says, it's like, you're going to do a photo shoot. Yeah. And then Mona's, like I said, we're not playing a game. This is who she is about. Don't ask for favors.
Mm-hmm.
If I can do something on my own, I'm doing it. And she does pretty much every thing on her own. And that means me. She doesn't ask me for favors, which is an emotional hardship. That's one thing I would say as a guy. I want to be asked at times. And she's like, I got this. It's like, wow, really doesn't need me. But
Not even for a smooch?
Not even for a smooch.
No.
She doesn't kiss
Or
no
he's
more.
like, why don't you tell me about this? I'm like, because I don't need to stress you with it. I'm just going to get it done and fix it. He goes, but you're not communicating. I need to know about it. I'm just going to take care of it.
I come from
It's
10
like, yeah.
brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
We're Irish Germans. We argue. We're loud. It's not even just the boys fought each other. My older sisters kicked my ass too. And so I'm used to this kind of, hey, if we're going to talk about this, let's talk about it, but let's go high with it. Let's just get a little aggressive. And she's like, no, I don't do that. You don't want to see me mad. Okay. All right. But it's just a cool thing having somebody like that. And one of the things you just said is contracts and stuff like that. It came back to bite me because I had a friendship with a guy for 30 years. I didn't realize the friendship only had to do because I was Mike O'Hearn and could get photos published. And he was a photographer. And so when it came down to time, he said, hey, I need some money. And I'm like, no, we're friends and stuff like that. And she says, this is what you think.
That's why you pay for everything.
That's why you pay
Because then
for
you
it.
don't feel
Don't ask
bad
for a
asking
favor.
for the
Get your job
pictures,
done.
yeah.
If you're going to do something, pay the person for their time and everything. And that's how you do business. And that way there's never this kind of hiccup.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
I think that, then
So
you
we're
don't
going to
have-
get some knee sleeves and some hip stuff today. So give them a check. Let them give me your credit card. And then the second thing that I was trying to remember what Arnold said about guys and their egos. So Arnold through the years has given me monstrous advice off of one sentence of things. And he was talking about how one guy wouldn't get on the to the wife. She goes, well, he didn't want to get on the back of the bike because that's called the bitch, right? And he's a guy and he's a macho guy. Absolutely not a macho guy. Absolutely not. And Arnold goes, I'd get on the back. You could drive me on the motorcycle. I'll drive, bitch. But it was the attitude of a man compared to a guy that's playing it. I ain't going to get on the back there because you're driving it. It's like, sure, I will. My girl's driving a motorcycle. That's a badass bitch. I'm good with sitting on the back. So it was just interesting that you said that some guys don't want the independent woman. Some guys don't want that. Where I think I have to have that in the business I am. And at the level I get crazy. Those 3 o'clocks could go to 2 o'clock. You know, and I'm going to bed at 9 and I'm getting up and I got to train. I got to go do this. I got to get on this trip. They can guest pose. I'll guest pose. You don't need to guest pose at every show that calls you, but I do. And so to have somebody like that as a partner, for you 20-year-olds, I would say wait until you get that.
There you go. 20-year-olds.
Shit's rare though.
Good luck.
Wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all that's left is the duck eggs. So for us to be jacked, you said for us to be jacked that we have to eat duck eggs.
So you're not getting in on this sliced in 4 weeks and rolling?
No.
What I'm gonna do, because one thing that
I want to be
been
fat.
You guys shook on it.
one thing that I've been backing off of is like barbells. So I've been doing a lot of like lighter lifting calisthenic stuff with jujitsu, but I'm gonna bring the squats back. I'm gonna bring the deadlifts back.
I don't want to moderate you. I need a good you.
I'm gonna do it slow and safe.
I don't want to hear something like, "Hey, I didn't do
What's
barbell
going on with
squats
this
for
thing?
this."
But I'm getting myself back up to a nice lean 255.
What just happened here?
I'm getting myself back to a nice lean 255.
All
And
right.
it's
That's
not
a
very
tussle.
difficult.
We done
That's a
fucked
good
up.
tussle.
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be
fucked
fun
up.
for me. I've been like having you here, man. Like we talk about you in different podcasts. We always end up bringing you up because of the way you work out, because of your habits, and people always shit on us for it. But like, man, I'm fucking motivated.
I like that.
So this is gonna be fun.
I like that.
But we got to eat some duck eggs now.
Wow.
But look,
We have just
In
instructions.
honor of me, is this? I know it's a Filipino dish, but it's in honor of me. The duck eggs.
yes,
I love that.
Yeah, this is a
So how does
balut.
it go down? You
But balut?
Balut. Yeah,
Balut?
it's
You
so
guys can get in there. Go ahead and get in there and
everyone
take pictures.
get your own.
got an egg?
Mark. Whoa, don't drop that. Little baby's gonna come out.
no.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens.
So
between that
if
and
I'm correct, there is a fetus.
Yeah.
So gross.
I'm gonna get this.
It's a little.
I'm gonna get.
I got it.
So-
I'm gonna
so-
do the same.
taking the
So
pants off
Ahern
right
and
now.
Nsima are getting naked.
Everyone's got their clothes off?
Oh,
Yeah.
Andrew, do you need a duck egg too?
Fuck no, dude. I eat way too many eggs to get like anything. I have to keep
is
my
this?
eggs. on.
Okay, I'm gonna put this on later.
You found the cock ring.
Ahern just found a cock ring in the background.
It's unused if you'd like to take it
Oh,
off.
thank you.
Yeah.
Mark,
There you
Bell
go.
is
Looks a little
peeling.
big for me.
Mark Bell just peeled off his shirt.
Okay, so instructions.
We got it written
So
notes.
our buddy
Take the
said
spoon and you
use
hit
the
it.
spoon, but on the red side, right?
Okay.
So use the spoon to crack the stamped side of the egg
Then you drink.
to make a mouthpiece. Yes, then you drink it. You can pour a little bit of salt down with it. So there's salt right
Definitely
there.
salt up.
Salt it a bit
give
and
it a
sip
whack.
out the broth. Yeah. Then you peel the rest as you go. Salt the chick
crack
that
it.
you'll see inside.
And then just kind
Salt
of
the chicken side. I don't know. I don't know. If
Oh,
you
and for
wanna-
sure you're recording, right? Okay.
Okay.
All right, keep
I
going.
got it cracked, and now I just poke a hole in it.
Yeah, peel a little bit. Like pick
Oh,
out,
like
pick
peel
out
it?
the shells.
Oh my gosh! Make sure you guys are getting this.
Oh no! Oh god!
Uh-oh.
I think I
Oh my gosh!
Did you do too much?
Oh,
Melvin,
what are you
help.
guys doing?
oh my gosh!
Oh, the top. Okay, there we go. Then peel that
Peel it
top.
out.
What's in
Okay.
there?
So we got Melvin helping out with some instructions.
Do you see it?
Do you see the embryo?
I threw a little salt in there.
I saw hers.
And then now this is enough to me to.
Sip her down?
Yeah, there should be.
Oh
some,
god, I see the embryo.
I know, right?
There should be some juice in there.
She's
yeah?
going.
Oh
She's
god,
going.
Mona drinking it. She drinking.
It's just a little juice. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the best part, honestly.
Is the juice, the broth?
Okay,
You can eat
And
the
then-
baby.
Mike, where's yours?
I ate it already.
Still fasting?
No, you didn't. Does he have his egg over there?
I'm fasting.
And
Still
then you just
fasting.
you just feel it like a
Peel it.
Yeah, then you
Oh, I
peel
can't
it.
watch you do this.
I gotta get close.
I'm supposed to just suck it out of there, or
No, now after you sucked out the juice, now you eat it just like a regular egg.
yeah. It's
Oh.
like
Get a little
it-
salt.
No.
No, okay, I'll
No,
suck it down.
Here,
Here,
wait,
pass
wait,
this
wait.
down.
Let me-
Cheers.
Let me hold on. Here's the salt.
I mean,
Cheers.
Yeah, put a lot of salt.
So how old is the baby at this point?
That I'm not sure of.
Listen, when you say baby,
I'm sorry.
no.
A little chicken.
you guys get us on the whole abortion thing. Roe versus Wade.
Oh boy.
Am I supposed to peel it? I'm so
It's
confused.
like
I'm like,
chicken. You know, it's
Is
like
it like
Yeah.
chicken?
Yeah, it's like
It is.
chicken
Actually, I'm just gonna
with
drink it
eggs.
without.
That's
Okay.
what it is.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh.
You guys doing it?
Oh,
I
she's
like
about to.
can't-
I'm gonna suck it down. Melvin. Oh wait, Rowan, are you gonna eat it? Okay, here, right here. All right, got
A
all
lot
the
of
broth.
sucking.
Yeah, did you? Oh, now you're okay. Let's go.
Can I use that audio for later?
Oh my God.
Oh, you're biting into it. You're actually
Oh, let's
enjoying
go,
it.
Mark.
What?
It tastes like chicken. I mean, it's just like chicken.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, Mike.
Don't eat the bottom part though. There's like a super hard part.
Okay.
Like the bottom.
It just.
That's definitely the
That's
part
like
that you eat.
the
So
beak.
it's like actually it smells worse than Mike is gonna go throw up.
You walked off. You walked away.
Oh no, honey, no kisses.
Can you give me a little more salt?
Oh man, here.
You just
Here.
dump some on there for me. 'Cause my
Is this
hands
thing
are all
open?
wet. I think so.
Okay.
Oh, your chick is all on the outside.
Jesus. The salt. Okay, can you help me open this salt?
That table is gonna smell so good later.
It's fine. I'll clean it.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will.
No, you. I know you.
Thank you, sir.
In, dude.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Do you need more salt, Lana?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. So I
Here we
got
go.
my
Eating
chick
some
out.
whole chickens today.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
Oh my god.
Ooh, this is real veiny. All right.
Oh yeah, I'm down at the bottom. I ate mine, so it's like a.
It's like chicken and eggs.
I wonder what that
It's not
is.
that bad. Come on.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
It really is.
You
It
people
honestly,
eat some weird shit, man.
it honestly tastes like chicken thigh and a yolk.
I think people are tripping when they say that it's when they talk about how bad it is. All right.
No, I don't think that's bad at all. I guess maybe the experience might be a little different.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I wouldn't really like.
Did you
I'm
eat
not
the
gonna,
whole thing, Nsima, or even the bottom part, or you cut that off?
Oh, the bottom part's hard. You can't really eat it. That was good.
Nice.
Hey. I think I feel my testosterone levels rising.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Still one more.
Huh?
Still one more if you want a second.
That one's supposed to be for Mike. I got to make sure Mike's not going to eat it. If
No, Mike
Mike's
has-
not going to eat it, then I'll.
Mike has one in here.
Oh, he has one already.
Yeah.
I'll eat this. I'll eat this one if nobody else wants it. Come on, Mike. You want to eat this one? So you want to eat
need to
another
wait
one?
255 when we tussle. So start now.
Oh, you don't want it? Come on, Mike.
Oh my god.
right.
That's
All
so
right.
funny.
Oh, she's already cleaning everybody's things up. Oh my
I
god.
didn't even realize that, but yeah, put it
Oh
in
my
there.
god. Oh my gosh.
All right,
Just trying
thank
to
you.
keep this clean.
That's fine.
Oh my God,
That's
that's
fine. We
funny.
get it.
I started cleaning up.
What's up, Power Project family? It's time to stop dressing like you're a fucking preschooler and step your game up by checking out Viore clothing. Now, I'm not one to talk. I wear a fucking pink hat that has a dog on it, but at the end of the day, at least my shirt and shorts are popping. So head to Viore because they have great stuff for your top and your bottom. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, you guys got to head over to viori.com/powerproject. That's VUORI.com/powerproject. And you guys will automatically receive 20% off your order. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes. Let's get back to the podcast.
See?
Will you cut us out, Mark?
Is
Will you do me a favor? Yes.
Do you feel that you're close, or Mona? Maybe you can speak upon this as well. You think this is about as lean as you've seen him before, or like?
No, he's
I'm
pretty
flat,
lean,
right? I'm
but
flat as a
he has
pancake.
not had any food. So when you don't have
Yeah.
food, that you're flat and you're not. I think that if he would eat for like 2 days straight, he would be so round and full, and the muscle just would look.
But he has
bulky and
a
tight.
he has a disorder, and he's not going to eat.
He hasn't even had a pump. It's not like he went and he lifted before this, and he's
Oh,
just
no.
like already,
No,
Jesus.
he's pretty.
Yeah,
put my
I
shirt
want,
back
I
on.
want the stallion glute hamstring tie-in.
But you already had
You know what
that.
I mean?
I mean,
It's like when
wash my hands.
they walk on stage, when Ronnie walked on stage.
Yeah, it's insane.
There was just, I couldn't take my eyes off the rear delts and the glute hamstring tie-in. And you can say that. It was a beautiful, amazing creation.
Fucking specimen.
And then when he walks out like that, you just see that, and I'm just like, to me, that's the superhero. And I want that when I walk out to guest pose. First of all, next 3 weeks, Frank Zane is going to take me through posing and take me through
nice.
putting the routine together.
Yeah.
And Samir Banut, the 83 Mr. Olympia, is
Nice.
going to be working on this on the other side of working on that. And then I'm guest posing with Titan at Mr. America. To me, that means a lot because my dad wanted to win the Mr. America. And so it was such a big thing to him is that now they've never had a guest poser.
Yeah.
I'm guest posing with my son. And so it's like, to me, I not only do I have the best team to help me get ready for this, I need to create something different to where I walk out there. And the physique isn't, and this is, they'll be confusing to them, but I think you can explain this. I don't want the physique to be appreciated by the 1% of bodybuilders. I want the Brad Pitt in Fight Club, where the majority of society said, that's the pinnacle body. That's the goal I'm going for.
Like kind of like the ladies when they react to Thor.
Yes.
They like seeing Chris Hemsworth, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
It's an aesthetic physique. He looks amazing.
we liked 20-year-old, when we were young teenagers, we liked the bodybuilders because they represented something, I think, that we didn't realize they represented.
Right.
And now that I'm at this age, it's the Michael J. White on screen.
Yeah.
He can cover that shit. There's no spandex on him. Go look at Michael J. White and what he wears. He always wears a long sleeve, and he's a friend of mine. And I tell him this. On screen, I don't think I've seen anything better. But he covers it all up, and he just looks like that physique is the pinnacle to me. Those bodies. And so it's not the whatever you are, jacked out and straight. It's the more, look at him.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, looking
And he's
full.
a couple years older than me. Look at that.
What
Yep.
about
And he's a 7th degree, I think, Dan.
In karate.
Yeah. And it's like, oh,
there was that movie years ago
so,
on the beach with The Rock and
Baywatch?
Baywatch.
okay.
So what was that guy's?
Who's
Zac Efron?
Zac Efron.
Zac
Who
Efron.
looked better?
Well, I was going to say I've never seen anybody be leaner than Zac Efron in a movie ever. Never seen it.
That jawline.
It was
Pull
insane.
up a photo of what he looked like. His jawline was.
There were striations in his erectors.
You know how much he weighed?
Probably like 170
Same as
or
Mona.
something.
150.
Wow.
150.
There's a video of him talking about it later.
Shredded.
What do you say?
He was talking about actually this year. I saw the video recently where he was like, I had to torture myself to get that physique. I'd never want to do that again.
Didn't he say he took diuretics?
I think he said he took diuretics or whatever.
That's
but like,
terrible shot of what he looked like.
I know, I just pulled it
there's
up.
some
Hold on.
better stuff.
TV5 video actually, because like when he's
Okay.
moving around, I think
Because when
there's,
he's moving around, you're talking about, and this is what's great about bodybuilding. He's a 150-pound man. I don't know how tall he is. I would assume not that tall. Where The Rock is a giant of a human.
Yep.
And easily 250, 260.
Is the trailer. Hopefully we get
The
some
Rock's
shots.
been doing great. Like
He looks.
getting in better and better shape as he gets older. When The Rock was The Rock, when he was a pro wrestler, he wasn't nearly as lean as he is nowadays. He looks he
wasn't
looks
as full,
better with
as
age.
Round.
Yeah.
His skin looks even like
He
I
looks
notice
younger.
the little details on him now. Right there. Look at that. Look at how
he's
sliced he
fucking
is.
shredded. It's insane.
Now that guy's 100 pounds heavier than him, and I think Zach's physique here, when you stand next to somebody like that, it really shows you the artwork of Frank Zane, the guy that
Right.
was 185, 200 pounds on stage. You can look tremendous, and you don't have to be the guy that's 250. Because I think The Rock here looks great, like always, but I think he looks going into the superhero movie. Oh,
Black Adam. Yep.
wow, he looks incredible going into this movie. Fuller,
Yeah.
leaner, rounder. Just,
You do you still train with Doug Fruchey?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you were talking when you mentioned
He's-
Doug
he's such a-
earlier. today?
Doc. No, Doc is a different
Doc's-
guy.
Doc's
Doug
the-
is, yeah.
Oh, Doc.
power
Doc
lifter.
is the powerlifter, the black kid that
Yep.
works out with Mike.
I know him as
I
well.
remember him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug Fruchey, he likes to train hard.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to move around some big weights. So
Super
you
nice
guys
guy.
training together is
Yeah.
probably pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun because I haven't had somebody like that can toss those kind of weights around.
He's also
And-
smart.
And he's very bright when it comes to it.
You get his pro card yet? I know
He got his pro card.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
He's
okay,
competed.
yeah.
He's done pretty well. Yeah,
Wow.
look at that.
That's
Pretty
sick.
crazy.
That's
huh?
by far the best I've seen him look.
His movie's coming out
But
soon, right?
Black Adam, right?
It's coming out soon.
He was just promoting it at the football opening football.
XFL?
Yeah, XFL. Yes.
There's something because we talked about your training, your consistency, but there's an aspect of your training that we've talked about on the podcast before, and it's when people see you lift, the full range of motion that you use with literally everything. Like you take heavy weights and you take them to the almost fullest maybe range of motion that you could possibly take them. How do you think that that has allowed you to stay in it longer? Because you see a lot of guys, they're just here, right, lifting super heavy weight, but they don't seem to last long. Their joints seem to go. How has that helped you out? And why did you do that? Because that's not a common practice.
Well, it is in martial arts.
Yep.
And so the one great aspect is that I've always been all three: martial arts, powerlifting, bodybuilding. So I want the physique a certain way. I need the athletic ability to be always range of motion so I can get out of moves or get into moves.
Yeah.
Especially with my judo, I had to understand turning the whole body below before my upper body even goes, just the top. So those three aspects, I understood from powerlifting that it was joints, it was ligaments. I understood from bodybuilding, it's nutrition. So that's somewhere else. And then I understood from martial arts, it's I have to be strong in all range of motion if I'm going to have healthy body and be good at what I do.
Yeah.
And I also understood with age, you lose mobility. So how can I get new range of motion or keep range of motion with strength? And so that's why I start going to the extremes where everybody's like, you're doing flies with 150s. That doesn't make sense why you would do that. Well, it does to me because I can do 200-pound dumbbells on press. So why wouldn't I use 150 or something massive to strain the ligaments? Oh, you're trying to lift heavy weights for muscle. I don't give a sheesh about muscle. I haven't eaten in 4 days. If I cared about muscle, I'd be eating every day and I'd be in a surplus.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with I got to get the most range of motion because what's going to happen one day? It's going to get worse. So why do I go to a 12-inch box at my height? Well, it's for me, it's so I can handle 400 or 500 pounds on a 12-inch box and still push through.
Yeah.
Because then that means let's say I go down to 400 in 10 years. Maybe I go down to 300 in 20 years. Maybe I go down to 100 pounds, or at least I can move through it with nothing on my back in 30 years, 40 years. To me, that means a lot.
Yeah.
To them, they're stuck on the one thing. Will I get the most muscle out of this? I would say, no, you don't need to do that low. But if you want to do this for a lifetime, you have to start young doing that. And you can't wait until, I'm going to start doing that kind of range of motion. I'm 45. Oh, okay. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Open up, get better, but don't rush into that. I've been lifting like I have. It's like I got to a certain strength and I said, that's strong enough. Now let me make it look prettier, better, and more utilized. I don't need a 500. I don't need more than a 500-pound incline. Right? What am I going to use a 500-pound incline, right? So why don't I keep that and slow it down?
Yeah.
Why don't I get rid of that reverse bounce out? Why don't I get rid of the speed and talk to it as it comes out? I got you. I got you. You ain't nothing on me. And then that way it's two people I'm pushing off instead of somebody I'm just trying to shove. And the same thing I did with Heath Evans on squats. And we got his squats, and he squatted his whole life because that ass is athletics, fullback. I got to plow through a 300-pound man.
Right.
If we took him down and he goes, no, you got to go explosion, explosion, explosion. No, explosion comes from a ground stop because there's no athletics that I know of that's a continuous motion. The ball's set on football and then you hike it. Then you flex. That's the explosion. Track and field, explosion. So I said, let's remove all that speed of going through the lift, take it down, and then flex out of it and continue to flex out of it. And then that's helped me keep healthy. Instead of going, could I bench 600? Oh, sure. If I start working to go faster, use a little bit of momentum, get a little heave-ho, do a dip like they used to do Mike Hall with the bench, booyah! But it doesn't do anything for me. And it's going to cut my game short for what I want to do. So that's the range of motion is solely that I have strength in the range of motion or it's not real range of motion.
Yeah.
And you're in positions that are ugly when you're doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And that's every sport. They teach you to be in this perfect form with sports, but you're never in perfect form in sports. You're in a mix-up in the offensive line. Those guys are all hands up and boom, boom, boom.
You slide tackling in soccer.
Slide tackling. Oh, he brought soccer up again. But does that make sense? So there's a reason and rhyme why I do what I do. And it's bigger than a trophy or Mr. Universe. It is solely that I can stay healthy as long as I possibly can. She's still cleaning up.
For how many years have you been doing like incline, like specifically focusing in on some of the stuff you've been doing, say like incline press? Has it been like 20 years, 30 years?
It has been 23 years. I stopped at Battle Dome.
So I think like stuff like that is interesting because somebody, even like myself, if I was to start doing something now, 20 years from now, like let's just say like I go in and day one, I try some incline presses. It's been a long time since I've done them. And let's just say I suck at them. Well, what if I stick with them for 5 years, 10 years? You know what I'm saying? Like a couple years from now, you can get good at some of these things.
You could. And I think that's one of the things that you and I talked about off camera and texting.
Yeah.
And I actually have, Instagram has your voice talking about something. No mess ups. Started when he was this age. Started eating at this age. And it's always funny when I see somebody using that stuff. And like today, I was on something and they used Dan Efferden's voice. Why don't you try for a day, a week, a month, a year, a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades? And so your both of the points was the same thing. It's like, I wish these people would give it time. And it's Jordan Peterson always says, don't tell a 20-year-old that they're great. They got 40 years to be great. And I hope you get 10 times better. And that's the point of my belief in lifting and eating. It's compounded, it's compounded, it's compounded. It can get better. And I think Stan in my last talk was, people got to stop thinking because you get older, you get worse.
Yes.
It's not true. It's true to the masses because they go home and sit on the couch after work, the job that they hate and the mindset they have. But she's in better shape and she won the universe 10, 15 years ago and she just had a kid. How is that even feasible? They'll say, well, it's drugs. Well, no. She was better going into the pregnancy, during the pregnancy, her arms and shoulders during the pregnancy, better than when the universe photos.
Oh, yeah. Way better.
So it's like, I think Stan knocked it out of the park. He says, people have to stop thinking just because you get older, you get worse. And I think that's a mental thing too, because we do get better mentally because you learn things. You trial and error, trial and error. That's the same thing with weightlifting. I didn't come up with this concept, the full plan, when I was 9, 10, 20. I was still fighting the wall. When I was training with Tom Plass, I had to beat him by a rep. Everything we did, had to do it. Didn't give me the results. It gave me the mental fortitude to go, I can push myself that hard. Great. But it didn't help my body. And you know this for a fact. You know a lot of 181ers that squatted 400 when they started, and they're still 181, and they're squatting 700 now. Same body weight.
Right.
What happened? The connective tissue got great. So it could be used in so many facets. And it seems like everybody just goes right back to the one facet. I want to look like that. I want to have that skin, lotion, daily. I want to have the muscles, eating right. You know, it's like they get so caught up with the one thing.
People want to be in shape right now, right this second. Anyway, thank you guys so much for your time. We took up a lot of it so far. Maybe
I think we took up a lot of your time.
maybe
Can we do a face-off before?
Oh yeah, do another.
Come here.
There's been a lot of posing going
I'll
on.
be right
that
back.
middle
I gotta
camera.
film
That
this.
middle camera.
Yeah, go ahead and film it, and I will, I guess, commentate. They both look enormous.
Looking good. There you go. Yep, right there.
They're like
That's amazing.
they're like squaring off.
Are you getting that picture?
Maybe I should get a picture too, because I got like a good.
You got a good. You got the Dana White, Joe Rogan angle of this, Mark.
I'm taking a photo. Both guys look.
to you. It's like standing next to a Ken doll. I'm creeped out. God damn.
You get it? I got it. Yeah.
Yo,
Nice,
I gotta
dude.
say this though, real quick.
Yeah.
All right, so it's funny because like on this podcast, people always come on and you talk about age and they say black don't crack. And dude, Lotion, the power lotion.
Power
White
of
people.
lotion.
You can be like this
White
too.
people, see?
You guys can have flawless skin too. But
I
yeah.
dig it.
Thank you.
go.
Thank you for that.
No, thank you.
But
we
you
learned a
guys were
lot.
incredible. Would you do me a favor, Mark? I've never seen you do this. Will you do a wrap up for me and talk about what the main things that you've
Right now?
If you can.
Oh, God.
On the
If
spot.
I put you both on the spot, what is something you're taking away from our talk today?
Let's see. So I would say on today's show, we heard Mike O'Tren deny that he ever took anabolic steroids or performance-enhancing drugs. I think we all know and have come to our conclusions that that's probably a lie.
There we go.
We learned that Mike.
That's good.
We learned that Mike just doesn't buy into the typical, stereotypical thing of, you're getting older, so all of a sudden you're going to make these weird grunts when you get up off the couch, and that your joints are going to hurt, and that your ligaments are going to hurt, and that we have to progressively get worse and worse as we get older. Consistency is king. Being able to do something for a long period of time. And I think maybe what might be kind of lost in the whole mix of everything is the fact that in order to be consistent the way that you are, and in order to do the things that you've done for so long, you have to be very appreciative of the body that you have. So whether you think about it or don't think about it, I think that you are most likely very appreciative of where you're at, where you were, and where you're headed in the future.
My thing, and then by the way, we have to redo that face off. I wasn't serious enough, but because that's on me. But the thing that a trend that we've been coming across on the podcast for the past few months, actually even longer than that, we've had a lot of guests that have come in and talked about belief systems, mindset, your expectations, like, and how your expectations can affect not just your actual outcomes, but your hormonal and physical outcomes. And a lot of people, when they hear that, they think it's bullshit. Like they don't believe that, number one, the words you say matter, the way you think matters, and what you expect to happen to you actually makes a difference. Everyone thinks that just because a study says something, or just because a study says something, that's how it is. Or just because this is what my favorite influencer says, that's how it is. But the things that I've paid attention to.
So on point.
Yeah, but the things I've paid attention to, and the reason why I really have dug your stuff for a long time, I've made a video on my YouTube channel like last year or year before of what I learned from fake natties, and it was you. I used you as the example because I believe you're natural, by the way. But I titled that because it's like the one thing and the biggest thing I've learned from you is, number one, you've stayed consistent over decades, right? You haven't stopped, and one thing is your belief systems are iron. Right? It doesn't matter what other people think about their outcomes. You have put in the action, you have had the patience, you have had the consistency, and you don't let other people's outcomes dictate the way that you do things.
That's
and I think,
insightful.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever said that particularly
Not like
fine
that,
tuned. Not
right,
like
yeah,
that. You
no.
use 100%. My beliefs are 100% iron.
yeah. And if anybody, no matter what their genetic level, were to just take that mindset into what they do, doesn't matter what their genetics are, they will become the best version of themselves. So that's the only thing. It's like, can you just focus on being the best you, do the stuff, whatever. You might not look like you might not look like Mark, you might not look like me, but you will absolutely become the best version of yourself. But if you don't do that and you just go around and you have weak belief systems, and honestly, there's a lot of people on social media that I don't think a lot of the individuals do it on purpose. People that make these types of like Natty or Not videos or calling people out for being on steroids. I think they're trying to say they're being honest, and they maybe they are, but they don't realize that they're implanting mind viruses into every single young teenage viewer, because those mind viruses make that individual believe that without patience, I can't, like, number one, there's nothing about patience. It's like that person automatically, they're on drugs, so I can't do it. They're fucking up people's belief systems. And that's the exact thing that we're trying to fight against, no matter what anybody thinks. So I am still, and the big thing I took away from you is, number one, no one's going to fuck with my belief systems and our belief systems on anything we can do. We're going to do some unreal shit here. We're going to do some wild shit here for the next few decades. And people are going to be surprised by what they see. And they're going to think that there was a lot of shortcuts, a lot of drugs taken to do it. But
so
hey,
what?
it's your
Right?
deal. It's your life. You believe what you want. You take away what you want. You go down the path you want. But we're not stopping because of it.
I put up a post this morning of Muhammad Ali. And he said in it, which was beautiful, he said, what the announcer said to Muhammad Ali, what do you think about these people talking about you, this, this, and this? And he goes, I think nothing of it. I am at the peak of the mountain. My visual, what I can see is so much broader than the guys that are just trying to climb that mountain. They're starting out. And I thought that was a beautiful thing coming from somebody like him. And he was much more articulate and charming how he said it. But his point was, I've gone through 45 years of lifting with the greatest that's ever walked on the planet in the health and fitness world of bodybuilding and powerlifting. And I've been the most annoyingly anal guy when it comes to nutrition during those 45 years.
Yeah.
And so there's some things I've seen, not just from myself, but the people around me. And so I understood his point that there's so much I've seen, and I'm trying to tell them, the kids, what I've seen and what's possible. And with you guys out there talking about that same thing, it's great that we have those kind of people going, no, this is what's possible. This is what's possible. This. And so we just keep pushing that thing. But I thought he said it so beautifully.
What did you learn from Mark today?
I learned
Look at that.
the importance of, I got the gym covered. I'm good. I'm a master at it.
Right.
I've got to control the mind even more so when the food is at the level. I can still go in and go to a switch. You know that? Yeah. You know, I can turn the switch on in the gym and get a lift regardless. I need to do that at home when I'm dieted, and I want to be hands-on, and I want to, what'd you call it, govern or umbrella, or I got to step back and let them do what they do,
slow
or
down
find a
little
better
bit.
position. I got to work more on that emotional part there.
There you go.
Equanimity.
What-
Equanimity.
I can't spell that.
Neither can I. I think sometimes what's helpful is just to, because most of the time we're mad at like somebody else. So if you're mad at somebody
all
else,
the time, not most of the
yeah, pretty much all the time. Yeah. If you think about it from their perspective, that just immediately slows you down.
Yeah.
So
But also,
here's-
but that's
you know,
what I learned from you.
it's
But
just
I
a
also
slowdown.
learned I need to be more consistent on that. And there is a promised land of how you have done this through the period of time that you've been doing this. And it's not a long time, you know, in the scheme of life. And you've created a business mark, I guess you would say, a politically correct mark to know how to run the business, to make the business better instead of hurt it. And so I like seeing that within you because I can relate with you. And so I've taken that away too, I think, which is going to make you happy.
some good points there.
What did you guys learn about Mona to be scared of?
If anything.
Cleans a lot.
Hey, strong women win.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yo.
But also a shit ton of gratitude, though. You know, you were just saying, if this all went to shit, I'll go work at Chick-fil-A and we'll be fine. And so it's like, you know, here I am today. Like we get to, dude, I was a fan of fitness before I was like in this realm. And it's like, if you go back, whatever, 5 years, like, hey, you're going to be on a podcast with Mike O'Hearn, Mona Muresan, Mark Bell, and Nsima Inyang. I'd be like, no fucking way. But okay, let's see what happens. But here I am today. And then I still have that worry in the back of my head. Like, oh man, this is an awesome dream. Like what happens if I wake up? But it's like, we'll be okay. We'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, you'll be okay. And I feel like people also take everything for granted here. They take America for granted, you know. And I said this. We had a talk not too long ago on a panel, and it's true. Like it's no other land that will give you the opportunities like America. Like what
sometimes-
we create here,
Yeah,
what I've
I just
made
think-
here, it was no way than any other country in the world I would have been able to make this for myself. And it's like this every day. And when I see people not really appreciating and talking like down to America, it's just it just pisses me off.
We were
It
at
does.
a lecture just a couple weeks ago. Bedros was there, Dan Fleshman. It was his. It's called Level Up.
Yeah.
And so it was funny because I always worry about her filter. There is none. And she says things the way it is. Just she doesn't.
This is the
This is
truth.
who I am. You know, she doesn't mislead or try to play anything, and she doesn't lie. And so I'm sitting there going, and she starts going into the old American thing, going, you respect this place. You want to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
you know,
you
go
don't
live in
like it,
Rush
get
Free.
the fuck
Mike
out.
just starts to walk
And
away.
I start going like this in the seat, and I say, and then what was amazing is after it was over, and there was a lot of big names there. Everybody went right to her, and just says, "Thank you for saying that. Thank you for being." And so
It's the truth.
the reason I say that is because the boldness of who she really is, or the ironclad of my beliefs, or how Mark is continuously pushing to be better Mark. It's a cool thing to see that person being them and not filtering it. It's a cool thing to see. And it was just like, you guys are some unique cats.
And we also eat duck eggs with chicks in there.
Was there a trend in that? Is that what you guys are trying? You put a little trend in
A
it?
little bit.
Not in mine. Mark's maybe.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was good, actually. It did taste good.
All right, Andrew, take us on out of here, buddy.
All right.
I will. And then, so the last thing I will say, because I bring my son into the gym as often as I can, and I'm like, look at Nsima, like this is what's possible. Look at Mark Bell, this is what's possible. But what you said when you were a kid, and you're like, okay, I'm with some elite lifters. Like, why can't I surpass them? That's something that I'm definitely going to implement in my son's mindset to be like,
There you go.
this is Nsima,
Dude.
you're going to do better.
Because
Or
I
you can do
try
better,
to
should
give
say.
that. I have always said, don't be Mike O'Hearn, be better than Mike
Yes,
O'Hearn.
that's amazing.
I've made mistakes.
Yeah.
You could be better than this.
Nah, well, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes.
I got
but
good skin, though.
Yeah, amazing
Good
skin. Man, I saw that shit up close.
I got my best endorsement right there. You just say, for a white guy, too. That's not bad,
No,
right?
I'm going to be
For a-
very
for a
consistent on my
man.
night cream.
Yeah.
Very consistent on my
you
night
guys.
cream, man. I'm not even joking. I gotta, when I'm 50 something, I gotta fucking,
You'll be fine, dude.
and you gotta start.
I
both
should
of you.
start, but I got pretty oily skin, so I think that's good enough.
Stop it.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for checking out today's episode. Please drop us some comments down below because I know you guys got a lot of stuff to say today. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out and subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already. Please follow the podcast at MB Power Project on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. My Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter is at I am Andrew Z. And Nsima, if they want to track the progress of your shred down coming up, how
I'm not
can they do
shredding
so?
down. I'm getting bigger.
Sorry, getting bigger, getting jacked.
Yeah. At
Email
Nsima
though.
Inyang on Instagram and YouTube, at Nsima Inyang on TikTok and Twitter. Go to the Discord and guys, make sure comment on this. This is gonna be this is a fun one.
All
This
the
is an
shit. I want to
amazing
hear
podcast.
everything.
He's gonna
Comment
get
fucking
bigger.
everything.
Stronger, more athletic, and choke my ass out. Donate. We should do a donation. Kick his ass, Mike O'Hearn. Mike O'Hearn get his ass kicked, is what it is.
That's not necessary.
Okay,
Nah.
We're going to take some pictures right here.
Yeah, well, you guys got okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Come in.
I like how they just.
Come, come.
All right, well, the show's
Am I
not,
sucking this?
Show's not over yet.
show's not quite over yet, but here we go.
We're
We're
taking
doing a
pictures
shot.
on the
Okay,
show.
keep going. We'll close out the show.
Mike and Mona, where can people find you guys?
you?
You can find Mona and myself on MikeO'Hearn.com.
Just use my
website.
name,
Make sure you
Mona
get in front of the
Muresan,
mic.
The Romanian gangster. Mona Muresan, the Romanian gangster.
Where can people check out some of the supplements and some of the other things you guys have?
Listen, anything that you want to know about the supplements, just go to MikeO'Hearn.com.
No, go to Walmart.
You'll
Go to
find-
Walmart,
Walmart and buy
everybody.
it.
You'll
That's
find
where we
Walmart.
are.
You'll find workout apps. You'll find me. You find Baby Titan. You find everybody there. It's
Amazing.
Just, I'm just using.
Thanks
him
about the
for-
Walmart, man. That was, I mean, I know you guys understand the magnitude of that.
Huge.
So it's and to be the one guy, so it's cool.
I'm so glad we made it down here. But I mean, when you coming up and see us and Titan?
Never. Mark Smelly Bell, strength is never weakness, weakness never strength. Catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
You know, I'm kidding.
Oh man, that was good.